Hello, everyone, and welcome to Williamsville South High School. It is homecoming and Veteran Appreciation Day here as well for the Erie Community College Cats as they are set to play host here to the Hudson Valley Community College Vikings. I'm Tanner Saunders. I'll be your play-by-play voice this afternoon. Joining me on color is Paul Catrona, and let's bring him in right now. Paul, let's start off with Hudson Valley Community College here. They come into this game 5-2. They're 2-0 in the division, 1-0 in the region. They come into this game on a 3-game winning streak. We had a chance to talk to the coaching staff of the Vikings. What can we expect to see from them here today?
Well, like all good coaches, they're very, very closed-mouthed. However, we know this much. They like to come out in a pro-set offense. They like a lot of option, whether it's an RPO run pass option or maybe just a strict option play off of that. They like to isolate their receivers on man whenever they possible, try to get them the ball, and they score a lot. They're averaging 37 points a game. They know how to put the ball in the end zone. As far as the Cats go, pretty good offense, steady. They like those long drives. Their offense is scoring at 22 points per game also. So basically, we're going to see a good physical football game, and one of these two teams are going to be named champion.
That's right. This is the Region 3 championship. This game is as well, in addition to everything else. I mentioned homecoming, Veterans Appreciation Day, also the Region 3 championship. The Cats will receive here the opening kickoff. Jared Navidad setting up to boot it away, and one of the deep men for ECC is Reginald Hoax III. He is explosive, and he had a big game special teams-wise in the first meeting this year between these two teams. Had a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown. Now the opening kickoff is up, and we are underway. And it's going to be fielded by ECC, and here they go right off the bat down the sideline. One man to beat. The kicker, Navidad, slows him up, but not enough. Now inside the 10-yard line, taken down there. We talked to the coaching staff for ECC. They said special teams was going to be a big factor in this one. They had to be better on special teams, and what a great start there as Mark Rogers on the return gets them set up inside the 10-yard line as we take another look here.
Let's watch that extra block that just blew it wide open. Oh, just a beautiful run down the sideline with speed. Little things that people may or may not think of, how important those blocks are as the defending team's coming down trying to get in position. Great, as we said, it's going to be a physical game, and it starts off right from the get-go for the Cats.
Go figure. We talk about Reginald Hoax and his explosiveness in the return game, and then Mark Rogers just one-ups him, and right off the bat, we have a penalty marker down. Well, this has been a problem for ECC all year, penalties. They have been penalized over 100 yards in all but one game this year. And just to put that into perspective, when you look at last year, they were penalized under 100 yards in all but one game. So that's just been a huge issue this year for them. They have to make it a point to reduce these penalties and keep themselves in a favorable down and distance. And as far as that goes, not off to a good start.
No, it's very difficult when you start your offense 1st and 10, and now you're behind the chains. That was a point of emphasis for Coach Kemp, wanting to come out and play a clean game. Some of the thoughts I had about being a JUCO program, you have a lot of freshmen coming right out of high school playing against sophomores who've been in a college program. So at times there might be a physical mismatch, and then again at times it's just going to be that mental jumping off sides.
Now they come out here, 1st down and 10. Willoughby's going to throw right off the jump, fires. That one is high and incomplete.
Executed play, just perfect play, trying to hit the tight end, just a little hook. Willoughby just a little bit high on the throw. Sometimes quarterbacks need a throw or two to just calm those nerves down a little bit. And I think that's all that was.
They came out 2 tight ends there, as they will do again here. It was Byron Williams and the intended target Aaron Whitlinger there. Now Williams goes in motion. Willoughby, it's going to be a give to Warburton. Trying the right side there, the offensive formation, and he's taken down after a short gain, brings up the first third down of the game.
And Warburton, one of the top 2 running backs for Erie. He's a good between tackle runner. He's got a couple touchdowns so far this year. And then we saw in this play, he's averaging 4.4. He probably got about 5 yards right there. So good second down play, and just gave the Cats a little more chance to get this first down.
First third down of the game here for the Cats. Willoughby takes the snap. He fires toward the outside. That pass is caught and then ridden out of bounds there. It looks like that's Whitlinger, and he should have enough for a Cats first down here.
Love the catch by Whitlinger there. If you watch it, you'll see he just extends his arms out. The ball is put in the only place that one person was going to catch it. It was him. It came with a lot of pace, and my thought at first was, oh boy, I hope it's not too hot to handle. Just a great catch, set up the Cats for first and goal.
Now they say it's first down. Originally, they had marked him short there. There was some confusion there. And now we've got a new quarterback in the game here for this first and goal. It's going to be a handoff to the up back, and he is in for the touchdown. So ECC able to make quick work of that possession there after the long kickoff return by Rogers. Able to punch it in, and they take the early 6-0 lead.
Just a perfect dive play right between the guard and the center. You know, those are the tough sledding yards that running backs have to get. And what a way for Erie to start off this game in less than 2 minutes. They're already up on the board.
And here is the PAT, a little bit low, but it is up and good. Converted there by Gabriel Kempf. So ECC up 7-0 here with 13:32 left in the first quarter, thanks to the long kickoff return by Mark Rogers. And we'll take a second look at the touchdown.
I'd like to see if someone got the touchdown. Excuse me. Yep, just a perfect run play. Good blocking there. On the extra point, I was interested to see if somebody got a hand on it. It came up so wobbly, but you know it made it through it. It really doesn't matter.
That was Anthony Leach getting the touchdown there. It's his 9th carry of the season, 3rd touchdown.
So Leach is going to be that running back that we see oftentimes. That's a good short yardage guy that's going to get in. Usually those types of runners are very good north-south. Not so tricky, but you know what? Really powerful, and every team needs one.
You might not think, if you look at the scoreboard from the last time these two teams played, it was close. It ended up being 42-14, but ECC actually led that game at halftime 14-12 and then, proceeded to be outscored 30-0 in the second half.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, we know that Noah Willoughby was injured in that game, so that kind of thing can happen. You're on the road, and things got out of hand for the Cats. But as I said, I'm expecting a tight physical game here.
That one's going to be fielded inside the 5-yard line. Now here comes the run back, and there is a flag down.
Returned by Micah Gates. What I was watching there was the defense, the kickoff team for the Cats. They were really conscious of staying in their lane. Hudson Valley has had a handful of kickoff returns for touchdowns. Oftentimes that happens when somebody gets out of their lane on the return. ECC was just very, very much on point, which also led to a block in the back. So now for Hudson Valley, they get to go back another 5 yards or so because it's inside the 20, halfway to goal.
So here comes the Vikings offense, averaging just a tick under 37 points per game. The quarterback is Nate Stone. He's in the shotgun here on first down. Handoff, nice little jump cut there, and able to get a decent gain there on first down, and as now he gets escorted back by a herd of Cat defenders there, but forward progress should mark that a nice gain. It's Chance Bonner on the carry.
Good opening play. Just, again, little ISO up the middle. Just pick up what you can. Sometimes I wonder about the officiating. He was stopped dead to rights, right? But as you said, a whole herd of Cats came in and just piled in and pushed him back.
And now Jaden Stewart comes in the game at quarterback for this second down and short. Here's the snap. Stewart gonna keep it himself, spinning, and he's not going anywhere. Drop for a loss. That is Delshawn Taylor on the TFL, and boy, he has had a monster season this year.
Delton just comes right through, up the gut, as they would say. A quick move, a club little block with his right, and just pushed his way through. I like to call those kind of defensive linemen, those are men.
He beat the guard there, Jameer Wright, pretty handedly.
Just such a quick first step off the ball, too.
For Delshawn Taylor, coming into this game, the last 4 games coming into this one, 16 tackles for loss and 5 sacks. Almost tripled his TFL numbers from a season ago. He's almost doubled his sack count from a season ago. And now on third down, here is Stone standing in the pocket, fires down the field, and that one is juggled. Did he come down with it? He did not. Incomplete. Oh, it's looking like a 3-and-out here on the first possession for Hudson Valley. Good stand there by the Cats defense.
Stone puts up a very catchable ball. Sometimes those are the most difficult to catch. You're trying to think, I can get this, I'm going to turn and get some yardage, but unfortunately, that ball, for the Hudson Valley side, unfortunately, that ball just was dropped.
Jackson Moritz is the deep man here for ECC, standing at the 50-yard line, awaiting this punt. And before we can get things going here, there's a flag down. It's going to be a false start against Hudson Valley. It's their second of the day, and it's going to back them up even further here.
And I'm watching the formation of the punt team. It's interesting. They have a setback behind a blocker, and then he'll come into the middle to kind of make a wall, which is interesting. But later on, let's see what happens. That could end up being some type of snap to him, and he goes.
Connor Jackson, the punter. It's fielded by Moritz, and now tackled near side around the 30-yard line, and another flag comes in at the end of the play.
Well, very, very short punt. Good field location for the Cats either way.
I thought I saw a flag come down. Maybe my eyes were just playing tricks on me.
You did.
Still waiting for a signal. Haven't gotten anything yet, but the Cats offense is walking back here, and looks like it's going to be a hold on them.
Unfortunate that holding came just almost at the exact same second that the Cats were getting tackled. It happens on punts because the bodies are turning. The person you're trying to block is just kind of weaving, and a lot of times you're just better off not engaging.
Second possession of the game here for ECC. Both have started in Hudson Valley territory. This one at the 45, and you got movement up front, and another penalty flag flies. And it's going against the defense. So Hudson Valley, already 3 penalties for them in the early goings of this one. And ECC will get some of the yardage that was lost on the punt return back here.
Those are the kind of penalties that coaches really just drives them crazy, because on a hold call on a punt, you're trying to make the play on a jumping off sides. That's just really paying attention to the snap.
1st and 5 from the Hudson Valley 40, and movement again. And again, it's encroachment on Hudson Valley. So very sloppy, undisciplined start here early on for the Vikings, and they give the Cats the first down there by way of penalty.
Yep, and Tanner, it's funny. Both times the defender moved so smartly. One of the Cats moved forward, and that stops the play right there. Didn't give him time to get back into the neutral zone.
4 wide here on 1st down. Willoughby looking to throw. There's an absolute seed down the seam. It's caught by Jarrell Green, and he is in for the touchdown. 35 yards. Willoughby to Jarrell Green, and the Cats take a 13-0 lead.
Green runs just a straight fly pattern, and Noah Willoughby, when he has a moment or two back there to just release that ball, he's got a cannon. That was thrown on a rope. Just a perfect play by the Cats. Beat the man-for-man coverage.
And now Gabriel Kemp will come on for the PAT. This one is up, and it is good. 11:35 left in the first quarter, and the Cats up 14-0 here over the Vikings. As we take another look at the touchdown strike from Willoughby to Jarrell Green.
Willoughby, took his 3-step drop. I was counting the seconds this time. Threw that ball in in my count, by 2 seconds. Not taking any chances. Delivered the perfect strike.
And so now ECC in the first quarter has already scored the amount of points they scored in the entire first half, the last meeting between these two teams.
So if you're Hudson Valley, you're thinking, well, let's face it, guys. This happened a little in the first game. Let's get it together. Let's get back to our game. If you're the Erie Cats, you're thinking, okay, this is the way we really play. We're not going back in time and thinking about the other game. We're just going to keep our motors running and running fast.
Here is Gavin Carney lined up for the kickoff. And once again, going to be fielded inside the 10 by Micah Gates. Now on the run back, little hesitation, looking for somewhere to go, and finally gets taken down around the 31-yard line.
Great coverage again by the Cats, just staying in your lane, minding your business, making sure you're securing your area. And I have a saying with return men, don't stop. Very, very, very few can stop, spin, maybe run to the other side of the field. You're just better off getting as much yardage as you can. Maybe you do pop out of a hole there, but once that runner stops, they become a much easier target to get.
1st down and 10 for Hudson Valley Community College. Nathan Stone lined up in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to fire it to the flats. It is caught. And then down the near sideline, nice burst of speed right there before being shoved out of bounds. Rodney Bell on the catch, and it looks like there's a flag down.
Yep, I'm thinking there could be a hold there on the wideout. Love the design of the play. Five wide. Hudson Valley came out in the first drive. They were just going to try to run as much as they could and pound it a little bit. This time they come out, they want to get the wheels rolling. Nicely designed play.
The Hudson Valley coaching staff, they got to be pulling their hair out over on the sideline. That's the 5th penalty now. They have more penalties than time elapsed in this game so far.
Yes, nothing bothers a coach as much as penalties, right?
Mentioned near the top of the broadcast how it's been a problem for ECC this year, but so far today it's been a huge problem for the Vikings. Man in motion to the near side, it is Bell. Here's the snap, Stone standing tall in the pocket, now firing deep, and it is incomplete. His man had a step there, but that one just a little too far out in front of him. Damian Santiago, the intended target.
Yeah, Stone would love to have that one back, put a little bit more air under the ball, and that would have been a touchdown.
But instead, second down and 14. Damian Santiago coming into this game had over 100 receiving yards. Each of the first 2 weeks of the season, he's only had one such game over the last 5 outings, but he does have a receiving touchdown each of the last 3 games. Now they go 5 wide here on second down. Bonner goes in motion to the far side of the formation. Here is Stone. He's going to fire deep down the near sideline, looking for Gates, and he has it. Taken down at about the 31-yard line. Missed one a play ago, but that time hooking up deep with Micah Gates there. It's first down into Cats territory.
You know, Stone put a little bit more air underneath that one, and Gates goes up and gets it. Pretty good coverage. Great catch, though.
Again, looked like it was a little underthrown. It was going to give the defensive back a chance to maybe run underneath that one and pick it off, but just great job there by Micah Gates. The first matchup between these two teams only had one reception for 38 yards. Now here's a little flip to Bonner. Took a little while to develop there on the shovel pass, but eventually got it to him, and he got right up to the marker there.
You know, I see in Hudson Valley now they're coming out with these basically four-man spreads. They're pulling the Cats wide, trying to maybe develop that area underneath between tackles. That was a perfect example of it. Took a lot of patience to get that ball just flipped properly. Really nice slip play there, and took advantage of the defense there.
9-yard gain on the shovel pass as ECC has called a timeout. Micah Gates with a big catch to get him down into Cat territory here. That'll put him over 400 yards on the season. Came into this game 29 receptions, 397 yards. Gates, 6 touchdown receptions over the first 2 weeks of the season. He's only had 2 touchdown receptions over the last 5 games. Now it'll be second down and short here for the Vikings. Man in motion across the formation. Here's Stone looking to throw, setting up a screen. That is caught by Santiago, but he does not have much room to roam there. I believe that was Shamir Land getting in there for the stop and dropped him for a loss. Still third down and short, though.
That was a beautiful tackle that was made. That was basically go for his legs, go for his ankles. Santiago has so much speed, and he is very slippery. I think that's kind of what the timeout was all about. Was let's keep our heads, let's make better tackles, don't get suckered around back and forth.
Third down and short for the Vikings. Here's Stone looking to throw. Fires one over the middle. It's caught by Micah Gates, and Gates is taken down. I believe he's going to be just short of the goal line, but it'll be first and goal no less.
Beautifully run skinny post. Stone sees it, throws it right in the old bread basket, and the Vikings right on the doorstep of tying this thing up. Oh, no, getting their first touchdown, excuse me.
And here's the snap. They're going for the tush push. And no signal yet. Now it looks like they're going to say he's short, I believe. The Vikings coaching staff up here in the booth was adamant that should have been a touchdown, but
Should have been a touchdown because the quarterback really never touches the ground in their viewpoint. I was just thinking to myself, that tush push is so difficult to referee, to officiate properly. That's such a mass number of people in one spot.
Now they come out shotgun here on 2nd and goal. Bonner burrowing ahead and looked like he stopped short there as well. So 2 short yardage runs here, and they have not been able to punch it in. First, the quarterback sneak there with Stone, and now Bonner gets stood up and denied at the doorstep. 3rd and goal. And it was Sammy Ikegwanu making the tackle there, and boy, talking with the coaching staff down on the field before the game, they absolutely rave about him.
Yep, I've seen him grow from a 9th grader to this part here. I just think the world of Sammy. He's well on his way.
3rd down, we're going to try the sneak again here, and there is a flag down, it looks like.
Interesting, because if it's on Hudson Valley, you have an option to put them back 5 yards, or you can go 4th and 1 play to stop them one more time.
That's on the defense. Now 3rd down and goal here. Stone, the snap, and that time not particularly close there.
No, I'm wondering if his foot slipped or if the ball it was not a clean snap to him. Stone gets that ball and he just basically dropped.
So Stone gets denied there on the quarterback sneak. It's 4th and goal upcoming, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here. So they're going to stick out on the field here and go for it on 4th down are the Vikings. They're going to line up in the same formation here, and looks like try it one more time. Stone trying to go over top, and this time it looks like he got it. So Nathan Stone, the 4/5 times the charm there, as he is able to punch it in, and now back down to a 1-possession game.
Stone this time, very clean snap. He did what a lot of people, I think, should do with the tush push. Well, at times, go a little bit higher and reach forward. It was so close to the goal line, and that ball just goes right over the end line.
Jared Navidad on for the PAT. It is up and it is good. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Hudson Valley drives down and punches it in as we take another look here at the quarterback sneak by Stone.
And looking at the extra point, that extra point would have been good from about 40 yards out. That ball was kicked high and far.
Nathan Stone, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Just the freshman Stone out of West Springfield, Massachusetts. He made his presence known immediately. He was named the NJCAA Region 3 Player of the Week following his collegiate debut on August 30th. A 59-14 demolition of Putnam Academy, completed 17 of 21 passes in that game, 287 yards, 6 total touchdowns, 4 through the air, 2 on the ground. And he has been playing some
good
really
football.
Good ball lately.
Not bad for a freshman, eh?
Not at all. Jared Navidad lined up to boot it away. And again, kicking it away from Reginald Hoaxson. It's go out of bounds along the far sideline, so that's going to be a penalty. against Hudson Valley. I believe that's their 6th of the game now.
You know, they respect the return game when they try to put it out into no man's land there, but got a little too close to the sideline. Obviously rolls out.
Reginald Hoax had a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown in the first meeting between these two teams, and then Mark Rogers, to open this game, had a large kickoff return as well. So first down and 10, Cats start out. This is the first drive that they've started in their own territory. Their first two, they started in Viking territory. They come out with 3 wide, 1 back, 1 tight end, and there's a handoff on first down. That is Tori Anderson. And it's going to be a short gain there on first down.
And as I said in the opening remarks, Erie likes to control the clock. They like to control the ground game. It's on them to now answer that touchdown throw that touchdown play from Hudson Valley.
Low snap, Willoughby pulls, throws, it is incomplete. Looks like Aaron Whitlinger was the intended target, but that one falls incomplete. It's going to be third down. Tori Anderson, going back to him. He was the leading rusher in the last meeting between these two teams, had 10 carries for 41 yards. He was the only player with double-digit rushing yards for the Cats in that game. That time they go to the air, and Willoughby looking for Whitlinger, falls incomplete. It's third down. Here's the snap. Willoughby give to Anderson, and trying to bounce that one outside. He's not able to find any room there along the left side of the offensive formation. Maybe fell forward for a few there, but it's still going to be fourth down.
Looks like Erie's thinking about perhaps going, but no, I think they're putting on the punt team.
They do send out Gavin Carney to punt, splitting a little bit of the special teams duties are Gavin Carney and Gabriel Kemp. Kemp handling PATs, but Carney will handle field goals, kickoffs, and punting. And here is Carney, gets a nice hold of this one, goes out of bounds inside the 30. And there is a flag down. Going to be holding against ECC. Now we'll see the Viking offense back out onto the field. Their last drive resulted in 6. Quarterback sneak from 1 yard out by Nathan Stone to get it back down to a 1-possession game.
And now I believe that's the 4th penalty on the Cats. We'd say this first half, the officials have been busy.
The officials have been busy in every ECC game this year. They've only had 1 game this year where they were penalized for under 100 yards.
9 penalties in the first quarter combined.
4 wide here on first down. Here is Stone. The handoff, and Bonner gets met in the backfield. Jalen Yearwood in there among others. And they still haven't blown the whistle. Now he's finally down.
Schmeerland, I think you'll see it again, just penetrates. He's like a big boulder in the middle of the lane there. Great penetration, broke down nicely, kept himself square, and just tackled.
Shamir Land has been very good. These last 2 weeks, he's got 12 total tackles, 7 solo, 2 TFLs, a sack, 1 pass defense. He had 10 tackles in the 3 games combined before these last 2. So he's been all over the ball these last couple weeks. Second down, here is Stone. Here comes pressure and a flag down. It's going to be a false start against Hudson Valley. believe that's their 7th of the quarter. Pace of this game is ground to a halt. So many penalties.
You know, and I was just, again, putting myself in the place of the Hudson Valley coaches. You do a lot of good things on the previous drive. You have your opportunity to tie it up, you still do, but you're just putting yourself in a deeper hole after a good stop, and now you add 5 more yards onto it.
Here's the snap on 2nd down. Stone rolling near side, throwing. That is incomplete. He was looking for Dylan May, but that pass too far out in front of him, so 3rd down and long upcoming for Hudson Valley. They're 1 for 3 so far on 3rd down.
So if you're the Cats, you're going to probably be in maybe a little man coverage underneath, but a safe zone on top. You don't want to give anything up long, and you definitely don't want to give up a long first down either.
Saw last week they gave up some big chunks in the passing game, particularly in that 4th quarter, did the Cats. Now 3rd down and long. Stone looking down the seam, has a man open, hits him in stride. And now inside the 20-yard line, barreling toward the end zone, and he's going to get there. Touchdown. Isaiah Allen. And it looks like there is a flag down. And you have a man down as well for ECC.
Well, Hudson Valley comes out. Everybody just doing a basic streak, trying to get in between the zones. Stone sees wide open receiver, hits him. Now Hudson Valley has a chance to tie it up.
And still a man down back at the original line of scrimmage for ECC.
Allen just took such nice inside leverage on the defensive back. That was too easy of a pitch and catch. But as I said before, Hudson Valley being down from the first game, they were down 14-0 here, and now in the first quarter they've tied it up. So they have an explosive offense. They've come back before on the Cats. It's going to be up to the Cats now when they get the ball back to slow it down, get that ball into the end zone, regain some of that momentum.
The injured Cat back up on his feet, and it is Sammy Ikegwanu, so that would be a huge loss if he were unable to return, but he's walking off the field under his own power, which is a good sign.
That's a good sign. And number 53 is the major cog on that defensive line for the Erie Cats.
Jared Navidad on to attempt the extra point here for Hudson Valley. Snap down, kick on the way, and it is good. There is a flag down at the end here. And it's going to be against ECC.
I believe it's roughing the kicker. You know, one thing I think, I don't know if you heard it, but you could hear Navidad get his foot into that ball. And it's a big boom. I always love to hear the sound of that kicker kicking that ball. You know it's going to go some distance.
And Jared Navidad is not your average kicker. He's been tremendous for them this season. Coming into this game, 12 for 14 with a long of 53, 29 of 30 on PATs. Last week he went 3 for 4, had a 43-yard long, was 4 for 4 on extra points. He hit the game-tying field goal with 5 seconds left in the game last week to send it to overtime, and then hit the eventual game winner in overtime, did Navidad.
So he's got a big leg. He's very accurate, and he has ice in his veins.
Yeah, what more could he ask for? That's the 3 most desirable traits you'd want in a kicker.
Yes, he's got a bright future. We inquired if anybody might be looking at him from a bigger school, and the coaches, of course, said yes. But you could tell they're gonna when that happens, they're gonna miss that young man.
And this kickoff going to be fielded here right around the goal line by Jarrell Green. He had a touchdown earlier in this game, and now Green is taken down inside the 25. Now ECC, they got off to the early lead, 14-0, but now Hudson Valley has rallied back to tie it up here. So we'll see how the Cats respond here. They start off first down and 10. Willoughby looking to throw. Quick drop, firing to the outside. That is incomplete. I believe the intended target there was Tristan Park.
I think Willoughby was forced to get a little bit out of his hands a little bit quicker. There was a good rush by the Vikings.
Second down and 10 here, 2-by-2 set. Warburton is the back to the left of Willoughby. And Willoughby takes the snap. It's a give to Warburton, but he is met and dropped in the backfield. Dominic Jones on the stop. That makes it third down.
Jones lines up on the edge and just came in untouched.
Dominic Jones coming into this game, 76 total tackles, 15 TFLs, 4 sacks. He's been a force on the defense for Hudson Valley. Third down and long for the Cats again, 2-by-2 set. Warburton the back. Willoughby takes a deep drop. Now climbing the pocket, and he's going to tuck it, try and run here. Now backpedals and throws. It is incomplete. Kept the play alive for as long as he could there, but could not hook up with Nigel Rossman.
This series for the Cats, the offensive line just quite wasn't getting the job done for Willoughby. Willoughby really showed a very good maneuver there, climbed the pocket, as you said, got out to the side and still released the ball just a little bit wide and goes out of bounds. But I think we see another flag on the field here.
Just came down very late here.
They say that the Cats quarterback Willoughby was passing.
It was an illegal forward pass there on Willoughby.
So he passed the line of scrimmage, went back and delivered the ball. I thought he was close, but I didn't see it, and there was no indicator originally on the play.
Here's the punt from Kearney. Gates is going to let it go, and it's going to take a Cats bounce. Now it's fielded by Micah Gates, and he is taken down at the 40-yard line by the long snapper, number 32, Samuel Stratton, and coaching staff was very high on him when we talked to him down on the field before the game, saying he's the captain of the special teams. You can see doing it all there. Goes from long snapper to making the tackle down in the tackle.
You know, when you talk about captain, you talk about leadership. Right now, the Cats need a shot in the arm. They need something good. They need to get excited about something, and I'd love to see when you see that leadership come out and do a play like that. That's not an easy thing to do. He ran probably 55 yards as fast as he can after snapping the ball.
2-by-2 set here for the Vikings on first down. Here goes the handoff to Bonner, and he runs right into the waiting arms of Sammy Ikeguanu. Good to see him back in the game. Got shaken up on the last possession.
Ikeguanu just on the snap takes a little move to the left and really set himself nicely. just anchored down, was right there for the running back to run right into it. And as you said, it's good to see a player that was down get back up and re-enter the game.
They drop Bonner for a loss there. It is 2nd down and 11 now from the 41. Their own 41, man in motion, and it's a little jet touch pass there, and now taken out of bounds along the far side of the field. That's Isaiah Allen, who scored the touchdown on the last possession, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the year, but that time he is strung out there along the far sideline, maybe picked up that lost yard back from the previous play, so it's 3rd and 10.
I'll be interested to see throughout the game how many times Hudson Valley really wants to try to run it between guard and center. And that play wasn't surprising. They moved away from number 53 and they tried to get it out wide.
Third down and 10. Bonner goes in motion, and they give it to him again, going off tackle and trying to stay in bounds there, but he gets ripped down, and it looks like he's going to be short.
We see number 54 once again for the Cats. Get out, use his speed, get out there. He had a nice tackle, got hold of the jersey, and just clamped down. He wasn't going to let it go. Now that's a big stop. That's a big stop for Erie. Last 2 drives going into touchdowns.
And with that, brings us to the end of the first quarter. Time to make the switch to the second. We'll be back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. Start of the second quarter. Here's Connor Jackson to punt. That one was nearly blocked there by Jamal Drummond. Now on the other end, it's going to be returned by Jackson Moritz. And here goes Moritz. And he's still on his feet. Look at him go. Jackson Moritz taken down around the 36-yard line. There's an electric return there.
Again, that's what you need. You just need a shot of some emotion and some big play. And what do you get? You get that really slippery run return by number 16, Jackson Moritz. He might have got a few more, but he ran right into his own man.
Now back comes the Cats offense, who outside of the first 2 possessions not had much luck here moving the football. First down and 10 from their own 39. Byron Williams, the tight end, in motion, and now the snap goes through Willoughby's hands. They're going to blow it dead. Should be a false start coming here. And indeed, it's going to be a false start against the Cats here. That'll back them up.
So generally, you don't like to see a penalty, but in this case, it worked out better for the Cats. I'm wondering if the snap count got something with the snap count, because it just didn't look like Willoughby was ready to receive the ball.
First and 15 now from their own 34. And 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back. Here's Willoughby. He's going to take a short drop now. Fires out to the far side of the field. That is incomplete. He was looking in the flat for his tight end, Byron Williams. He had a touchdown last week in the game against Nassau, but there comes up empty. And now we got another flag down on the far side of the field over by that Vikings sideline.
Yeah, you know, Williams was going by the official, and then the official threw that flag out. I have no idea what happened.
Looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, some kind of taunt against ECC here. So that's now the 14th penalty here between the two teams combined. And now they're playing well behind the sticks here on second down.
Not a lot of plays for second and forever, right?
Willoughby, deep drop, now fires near side. It's incomplete. They were trying to set a screen, but that one was off the mark for the intended target. Troy Singleton Burnett. It's going to be third down and very long upcoming here.
Yeah, I watched number 4 for Hudson Valley. Number 4, Matt Fernandez, really had a nice rush. Willoughby had to try to sidearm it around him, and the ball just went a little wide. You know, pressure can do that, really get the quarterback off his mark, and just not as accurate as he normally is.
Now 4 wide here, trips to the near side on this third down and long. Willoughby, here's the snap. Pressure coming off the edge. They set a screen. And now some room to roam here, but didn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage there to Darius Fleming. So it's going to be fourth down and long and presumably a punting situation here for the Cats.
Yeah, nice play, though, really. You just wanted to pick up some positive yardage, get a positive result out here. And now you'll give your punter a little bit more room. And if you're on the Cat side, you're really hoping for a boomer of a punt. Just try to flip this field.
Back to return is Micah Gates for Hudson Valley. Carney to boot it away. And Gates going to let it go, and it's going to take a Cats bounce. And rolls to a stop at the 19-yard line.
So for the Cats, you know, that ball wasn't what I would call a traditional boomer type in the air really high, but it did the trick. It bounced properly and rolled for them forward. So now the Cats have flipped that field again. What was started off as, I guess, you know, Roadrunner versus Roadrunner has turned into a defensive slugfest. We'll see if Erie can keep it going and try to get that ball back.
In the first meeting between these two teams, it was a relatively low-scoring affair. It was 14-12 at half. Cats led that game before Hudson Valley blew it wide open in the second half, outscoring them 30-0. And now the Vikings come out, 3 receivers, 1 back, 1 tight end here on first down from their own 19-yard line. Here is Stone. He's going to pitch it. Here comes Bonner running near side, puts his foot in the ground, tries to cut up field. And a flag is down. And looks like it's going to be against the offense. Now that'll back them up to down around the goal line, their own goal line.
Once again, we see number 53, Sammy Iguana, just on the snap. If you watch him, he's just going to take a couple steps to his right. He really plugged that hole, took the man down. Just a joy to watch down low. One of those big guys you can't take your eyes off of.
First down from the 8-yard line, throwing, looking for Santiago. That is incomplete. Good coverage there by Mark Rogers.
Yeah, Santiago took his legal briefs to the official saying, hey, that was pass interference, but no call there. And you know what? there was no pass interference. The ball was a little bit thrown a little bit behind him. But it never hurts to ask the official for a little help. You might get it the next time.
No doubt about it. Second down and long here from their own 8-yard line, and they're going to spread them out here and go 5 wide. And there is another flag down. And it's against the offense.
Did time run out there?
Believe so. Delay a game.
The penalty is against the Vikings for a delay of game.
So, last time they came out in that five wide set, every one of them ran a streak straight up the field, trying to get leveraged inside or outside of their man, and that's what led to the tying touchdown. So I think ECC here wants to just talk about it a little bit.
And while they do that, we'll take a timeout as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics. Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School as we're here in the early stages of the second quarter. It's a tie game, 14-14 here between the Hudson Valley Community College Vikings and the Erie Community College Cats. Right now, Hudson Valley backed up on their own goal line for this second down and long. Here is Stone, fires over the middle, pass is caught, and now taken down at the original line of scrimmage. It's caught by Isaiah Allen. He had a long touchdown earlier in the game. Looks like he got taken down there by Jared Larrier. Bring up third down. He got the lost penalty yardage back and then some. Turns out that the leaves aren't the only thing falling in bunches so far this fall. The penalties have been doing so as well early on in this one. 16 combined here between these two teams.
Good thing it's a turf field, right? Not the old muddy fields. Those yellow flags would have been hard to see.
It's now third down upcoming for Hudson Valley. 2-by-2 set here on third down. Stone drops back. He's going to loft one over the middle, and that is incomplete, and another flag down at midfield.
Yep, I think we're going to get the Cats for either interference or a little bit of a hold there.
He was looking for Rodney Bell there. They have a lot of guys who can take the top off the defense. Bell is one of them, averaging 17 yards per reception coming into this game. And he has been on a heater in terms of scoring all 4 of his touchdowns. He's got 2 receiving, 2 kick return touchdowns. They've come in the last 3 weeks.
And unlike the NFL, pass interference is a 15-yard penalty, not at the spot of the penalty. Nonetheless, it gives Hudson Valley another crack at the ball.
Gives them a fresh set of downs here. There goes the handoff to Bonner. Stays on his feet. Now he's able to bounce it outside. Here goes Bonner, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds along the far sideline by Jamal Drummond, but he picks up a Vikings first down.
How many times have you talked to coaches? They love running backs who keep their legs moving.
Looked like they had him dead to rights in the hole there, but just keeps those legs moving. And picks up the first down eventually there, Drummond, to escort him out of bounds.
I think you see on the replay, he thinks he's about to get tackled. He wasn't. His head up, he's still looking down, or looking forward, and you know what he did? Ran to open space.
First down from the 35, give to Bonner, trying to bounce this one outside, and that time they got him. Looks like taking down, I think Yearwood was in there, among others. But Bonner, he's coming off a career game last week in the overtime win against Sussex. He had 29 carries, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He was their workhorse for that game. And you know what? We've seen Hudson Valley now go back to trying to get a few yards on the ground, try to stay a little more balanced.
Bonner now checks out here, and now they pitch it near side, and looks like the runner down there. They haven't blown the whistle yet. Now they finally do. That was Myquan Rush Esdale on the carry.
And I believe I see another flag. Might be a horse collar.
They signal it's against the offense.
Good. Okay. But my eyes aren't so good, so if you're on the Erie side, you'll say, Paul, be quiet.
That's now the 10th penalty against Hudson Valley. ECC not doing much better in that department. They have 8.
Hudson Valley's an interesting team. They're so talented offensively. They're trying to stress. They can stress you out with, deep throws, intermediate, shorts, and then they got a nice little running game too.
They go empty here on second down. Here is Stone. He launches this one deep down the far sideline, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Micah Gates.
Well, again, they just present a lot of stress points to defenses. There was very good coverage, though, by ECC. You can just see where as the pattern was developing, using the sidelines as your friend is a good idea, and that's what happened. That ball was thrown about 50 yards in the air on a rope. That was a very good throw.
Third down and long here. They come out empty once again. Stone firing near side, and that one is broken up, nearly intercepted. Douglas Hunt made a nice play there to undercut that. Nearly came away with the INT, but they'll take the stop on third down. So take another look here.
I'm sure Hunt's eyes got big. That was a beautifully executed jump onto the ball. Yep, just perfect. But you know what? You said the exact same thing. I was thinking, okay, if you're from the Cat side, we've stopped them. The interception would have been just icing on the cake, but you're going to get this ball back now. Still in a tied game.
Fourth down, Connor Jackson to punt, and Moritz will field it inside the 5-yard line, kind of stumbled there and got him a little bit of breathing room, maybe a yard or two. But either way, ECC is going to be backed up deep here in their own territory.
Yeah, you know, that oblong object that we call a football has funny bounces, doesn't it? It hit the turf, 90% of the time that ball's going to roll forward. This one did not. Really forcing the receiver to pick it up, and then he bobbled it a little bit, and by that time it was over.
First and 10 from their own 7. Their field position has gotten progressively worse and worse as the day has gone on.
Yep.
Torrey Anderson the back here on first down. As they go 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Whitlinger in motion. Willoughby with the handoff. Off tackle goes Torrey Anderson, and he's going to get him some more breathing room there.
Love the design concept of that play. It's just a little stretch run. You know, getting your guys out there, just kick out a couple blocks, tuck in underneath the tackle. Picks up 8 yards. Nice first down play, and then you want to stay ahead of the stick. So, especially from that position on the field, you don't want to have to punt it from way back there if you're a Cats booster.
Torrey Anderson stays in on this second and short. Byron Williams goes in motion, and now a flag is down. How many times have we said that today? It's going to be a false start against the offense.
Tanner, I think the last time we were here, we were trying to figure out the all-time record for penalties. Whatever it is, if this continues for the third and fourth quarters, we could never really find that stat out, but I think this game would take the cake.
Now still second down. Scott Harper and Hoax, the receivers on each side. Willoughby fires. That is incomplete. Threw it up the seam to nobody in particular. Looks like him and Hoax were not on the same page. It's third down.
No, definitely not. We saw the receiver stop, and the ball was thrown as if he was going to keep continuing.
Now third down again. It is Hoax and Scott Harper, the receivers. This one goes through Willoughby's hands. He's able to scoop it up, and now trying to make something out of nothing here. Throws over the middle. It is incomplete. The intended target was Aaron Whitlinger, but boy, just give Willoughby credit for able to avert a major disaster there.
Exactly correct. I was thinking to myself, oh my, this could be a safety. Willoughby just kind of looped out the end zone, and as all really good strong-arm quarterbacks are, he saw his receiver. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to connect with him. It's been a few now snaps where it's gotten by Willoughby.
Here is Kearney. Did not get a good hold of this punt, and it's going to set up Hudson Valley with good field position here. They're going to have it inside the ECC 35-yard line. Well, there is a flag down, so let's check that.
Oh, I saw one of the cats go flying across the field. I was wondering if he was pushed from behind.
It's been a long half. That first quarter, the first quarter went like 45, 50 minutes.
Looks like it's against Hudson Valley. So now by my count, we're up to 20 combined penalties in the first half. And Paul, that game that you were referring to earlier, that was the game against Utica. They had 29 combined penalties in that game for 263 yards, which both of those numbers were the most they had in a single game over the previous 2 seasons. And we're already approaching that here in the first half.
Oh, that record's going to get smashed if this continues.
4 wide receivers here on first down. Stone fires down the far sideline. That is incomplete. Again, he was looking for Micah Gates deep, but looks like another one.
We'll get a little holding call here.
Pass interference against Erie is the call.
And it is going against the Cats here. So now they're in double digits. 10 for them, 11 for Hudson Valley. And that will give them a first down there.
That results in a first down for the Vikings.
You mentioned before, Tanner, how much speed Hudson Valley has on the outside. They are just really pushing ECC that way with their routes.
Stone floats near side. It is incomplete, looking for Santiago, but they're going to get Mark Rogers here now for a penalty.
Yep, same problem. Defensive back beat and took the player down.
Pass interference against Erie is the call.
One thing I do love about defensive backs, cornerbacks, safeties, when it's even that obvious, they're still saying, what? What?
First down and 10 for the Vikings from the Cats.
So first down here for the Vikings. They haven't had to do much work here offensively. Just they've been awarded now 2 first downs by way of penalty on this drive.
So 30 yards on penalties, a poor kick, gave them a great field position.
Here goes Bonner bouncing near side, and a flag is down.
That's usually in the holding area for offense, but last time I predicted it, I was wrong, so I should be quiet, but I'm pretty sure I saw what I saw.
It's a hold against Hudson Valley. Boy, this has been brutal.
You know, when you're trying to run on those edges like that, you really just got to keep your either going to drive block the man in front of you, but the minute you try to get leverage and turn him, it's too easy for the officials to see you do that. It's going to get called every single time.
So first down and long here after the hold against the Vikings. Stone takes the shotgun snap, looking, dancing in the pocket, now steps into one, throws, and Santiago took a lick there from Jerry Hickman, but it looks like he's able to hold on.
You know, it's like that commercial says, took a licking but kept on ticking. That was just a beautiful, beautiful stick by number 44. Number 44 on Erie, Jerry Hickman. That was a nice hit and really nice for that receiver to be able to hold on to that ball. That was very good hands on his part.
Still a couple yards here behind the original line of scrimmage here on second down. Here is Stone looking. He's going to fire this one toward the pylon. It is caught for the touchdown. Rodney Bell. We're about 23 yards out, and a flag did come in late.
Stone decides not to throw it underneath to his man on a little crosser who was wide open. Pinpoints that toss, touchdown, Hudson Valley. But as you said, there's a flag.
After the play, looks like unsportsmanlike conduct against Hudson Valley. The touchdown stands.
I didn't catch the number for the Erie player, but he was on the ground. That did happen after the ball was thrown. That was on a defensive line player on Erie. Was pushed in the back and just fell to the ground. So it was pretty obvious by the official to see it and call it. But for Hudson Valley, you'll trade off that penalty for a touchdown any day of the week.
Here's Jared Navidad on for the PAT. It is good. And I believe another flag is down. What's new? And it's against the defense.
Personal foul. So does this personal foul on the kickoff negate, this personal foul on the ECC Cats negate the personal foul on the previous play on Hudson Valley, so they'll just kick the ball off where it normally is? This is getting to be a clinic in officiating.
No, we're just winning the game.
Watch that pinpoint pass and just beautiful stretch and receiving of the ball.
Had two receivers coming underneath on short digs that took the attention there of the underneath defenders, and then was able to layer it over top, and just a great high-pointed catch there by Rodney Bell working against Jamal Drummond.
You know, you're really feeling it as a quarterback when you need to get that first down, but you believe in yourself so much that you're gonna go for that touchdown. A lot of moxie. Takes a lot of moxie, and Stone, he's got a lot of moxie. A lot of self-belief. Good for him.
And for Rodney Bell, that is his 5th touchdown in the last 4 weeks.
And again, I just, as I said, I just love when I see these receivers Just, get those hands up, get those arms up, reached high, pulled it in, touchdown. We want to see more pretty plays like that on both clubs and a lot less of those yellow pieces of cloth.
As the ball blows off the tee there once again.
A lot of wind down on this this field. We know the weather a little later on is going to be cold front blowing in with rain. So I think these are the winds before the rain.
Now here's Navidad to boot this one away and gets it into the end zone, touchback.
Kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And definitely that ball was a little wind aided, but no chance for a return for either of the receivers for the Cats.
And now ECC here, the offense really needing to get something going here. They scored the first 14 points of the game, but since the Vikings have rattled off 21 unanswered, as, wouldn't you know it, there's another flag down.
I think it's going to be called on the wind. Everybody else has been penalized.
The Vikings were offside on the play.
Offsides on a kickoff. That you will not see very often.
Oh, we've seen just about every other flag imaginable.
Inside my head, I'm seeing that if we could get a picture of every officiating call with the corresponding signal from the ref, we will have filled up probably every penalty that's possible in a football game. And all of this in only 2 quarters.
So we'll try this again here. Move them back.
Wow. Okay.
Forgive me if this is incorrect. I'm doing the best I can to try and keep track of all this here, but I believe that is number 26 combined.
Yeah, I see now he is.
12 for ECC, 14 for Hudson Valley. It's been tough to keep track of all these, but we're trying our best up here.
And somehow I'm looking at my little tab sheets. I'm getting, 12, 14, 26.
Yep. Here's Navidad to boot this one away. Doesn't quite get it to the end zone this time. Hoax touched it. Now he's going to have to pick it up, and he'll take it out. Hoax backed up deep here, and now he'll get it out to the 10-yard line. But, boy, a bit of a blunder there from Hoax. And once again, not going to make things any easier here for the Cats offense, as they're going to be backed up once again.
Really just should have let that ball hit and bounce, and I believe it's similar to the NFL. Once it's in there and you're giving it up, they're going to call the whistle or call the play dead. Instead, touching that ball led to a lot of this.
First down and 10, backed up deep. Here is Willoughby, the handoff, going to Warburton. He's going to bounce it near side, and here goes Cameron Warburton with a nice carry there on first down.
Nice carry, bounced it the outside, saw the open space and took it.
Warburton showing off a little bit of the agility here. When you think of him, you think of more of a north-south runner, but they're able to bounce it outside, and once he gets ahead of steam, he's a tough man to bring down.
Yep, your point's so true with Warburton. We've seen him a few times now. He is a very good north-south guy. On that particular run, he was going north. Saw the hole was blocked and just kind of slithered outside, kept his shoulder pads, straight ahead, and picked up an extra 5 or 6 yards.
Willoughby going to hand it off to Warburton, trying to run off tackle, but no room to roam there. He's going to be dropped for a loss.
There was a white wave of jerseys we saw inside. I've been watching number 4, Fernandez, the defensive lineman for Hudson Valley. And their defensive line isn't huge, but they are very, very fast.
Going down to 4.
Now 3rd down and short. Warburton in the backfield next to Willoughby, who's in the shotgun. 3 receivers. Here is Willoughby. He's going to step through a gap there, and now he's going to keep it himself. Here comes Noah Willoughby, angling toward the near sideline. Took a big hit there, but he's got enough for a 1st down. We know he can do it with his arm, but there he shows off the running prowess and moves the sticks.
Love seeing that. He took the space that was available. He started climbing the pocket, saw the hole open up. And you know what you want out of your quarterback? You want to make a big play on 3rd down. It was just a great run, and then at the very end, I think he put a little more oomph onto the tackler than the tackler did to him. But good job by Noah there.
Maybe taking out some aggression there over the fact that the offense has stagnated since the first 2 possessions of the game. Here's Willoughby, throws over the middle. He's got a man wide open. 1st down and then some across midfield. 1st down, Cats. It's Tommy Hunt.
So I think that might be Tommy's first reception. Former Will South player.
That's his 3rd reception of the season. Coming into this game, had 2 for 25. And that time, the big-time grab to get him back into Hudson Valley territory. Here's Willoughby, deep drop, climbing the pocket. Now he pumps, throws. It is caught underneath and making a man miss. Now inside the 10-yard line, 5, not going to get to the end zone, but he is going to set up 1st down and goal.
Well, we have watched the Cats now wake up from their little nap there on offense and just make some big plays.
Take another look at it there. Awfully close to being strip sacked, but still was able to get it off. Finds Troy Singleton Burnett.
Yep, a little slide move to the left after he caught it, and he was off to the races.
So now goal to go here for the Cats. The quarterback is Thomas Shea. He hands it off, and not much room to roam there. They tried to hand it off to Donovan Huggett, but he has no room there. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Tackle made on the play by number 96 of the Vikings, Bryant Ramsey. No gain on the play brings up 2nd and goal from the 4.
ECC, this their 2nd red zone trip of the day. The last time they were able to cap it off with 6 is Thomas Che once again in there at quarterback. It's going to be a pitch now near side, getting inside the 5, and Hoax gets hammered out of bounds there. And he is going to be short, I believe.
I think he's out of bounds about the 2, but you don't see a lot of full house backfields anymore in football. Let's just line it up and let's try to go and get one more hat on a defender that than they want down there. But Hudson Valley strung it out nicely.
Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line. Here's Thomas Che, hand off to the up back, and he is in for the touchdown. So ECC, boom, boom, boom down the field.
I'll tell you, Tanner, that's a belief in a system type plays. You took your number 1 quarterback out. You stacked up the backfield. You try to use overpowering numbers. And then on the most crucial play of this series, you hand it off to the up back, and he's a fullback, and he just plows into a middle of the field that was very congested, but kept his head down. And what did we say before about running backs that keep their legs moving? Coaches love it, and that's what you just saw there.
And once again, it is Anthony Leach capping off the drive.
That's just one will versus another person's will. And on this play, the Cats got the score to tie it up. So funny how football can change on a dime. Erie's looking at a third and a decent amount. If they don't connect, they don't get it, they're going to have to punt into the wind, down 7 to a team that's just been on a roll. Now, boom, you made some big plays yourself. Emotion got more. You build on it. And I'll tell you, I really do like to see when you can dominate a defensive line. It's risky, right? Because they get a lot of people in there too. But you believed in your system. It worked, and that's going to help set up the Cats for the second half.
2 carries in this game, 2 touchdowns for Anthony Leach. That's the first multi-touchdown game of his collegiate career. And it ties the game here at 21.
Be interesting to see how this kick will go, because those flags are really moving down at the far side.
Here's Carney, the kickoff. And it's going to be fielded on the near hashes by Micah Gates. Now he works his way over to the far side of the field and gets up past the 40-yard line before he is taken down. Justin Williams on the tackle.
So that kickoff, a little lower trajectory, probably trying to cut the wind. A good return by Hudson Valley sets them up. They have 2 minutes and 29 seconds. To hold on to the ball. For their end, they'd like to probably score on the very last second of the half, go in leading, but we'll see what happens, how it develops.
Potential double dip opportunity for them. They will receive the second half kickoff.
That's correct. And you always love it for the team that you're rooting for to get that double dip touchdown.
It's 1st and 10 in their own territory. Here is Stone. Pressure's coming. He slips out of a sack. There is a flag down in the offensive backfield. He throws and just dirts this one here on 1st down. And it is going to be a hold against Hudson Valley. Credit to Stone there. He's more of the pocket passing type, but showing off some slitheriness, if you will, in the pocket, able to duck out of what looked like it was a sure sack.
A sure sack, right? A little escapability. But you know what? Now you've given this this Erie team a little momentum, a little life. That pass rush looked better than what we've seen in the previous 2 rushes. We'll see how it finishes off here.
That last play essentially functioned as a sack with the penalty there, the hold. Now Stone fires this one down the field, incomplete. He was looking for Bell, who just caught a 23-yard touchdown on their last possession. And that's going to take us down to the 2-minute warning here in this first half. We'll take a little timeout here as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Seek your next adventure. Make your next memory. Explore your next connection. What will you do next?
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. It is tied at 21 here in the final 2 minutes of the first half, and a sloppy first half. With the amount of penalties, unofficially, I have 27 combined, 12 for ECC, 15 for Hudson Valley. Hudson Valley has possession here, going to be 2nd down and long as they try and execute the 2-minute drill, and they'll have a chance to potentially double dip here to start the second half. Here's Stone hanging in the pocket. He's going to fire this one deep, looking for Santiago. It's incomplete, and no flag down. That feels like an accomplishment. It's not often we've said that in this game.
There was a little bumping at the end, but there was no interference there or holding, so Erie's doing a nice job on that coverage. And we know that Hudson Valley likes to toss this long. It's third and, well, for many yards. I got almost 20, over 20 yards to go for first down. So it'd be interesting to see if they'll just take what they can underneath and then go play defense, or if they're going to really go and try to get that first down. 5 wides kind of tell you what they're going to do, right?
Here goes Stone. He's going to let this one fly, looking for Santiago. It's over his head and incomplete. And again, no flag down. So the ECC defense able to hold here. And now a minute 44 left. They potentially have a chance to put some points up on the board before the intermission.
I said when we were at break, at the commercial break before, I think the wind is putting a little more air underneath that ball. So, Hudson Valley's the road team. They're not used to playing here, obviously. Stone just the last couple balls, I thought, just a little too much distance, obviously.
Here is Connor Jackson, this one high, and it's going to be fielded inside the 30 by Reginald Hoax. Now here goes Hoax, makes a couple men miss, now past the 50 to the 40, and Reginald Hoax gives his offense a little shot in the arm here. They'll have a short field here, and a minute 31 to go make something happen.
Well, Tanner, that long drive by the Cats to get that touchdown, the tying touchdown, was a big boost to their morale and their emotions. We see it again on the punt. Some excellent blocking on the return. ECC set up for success at the Hudson Valley 39-yard line inside 2 minutes. Really, if you're the Cats, you couldn't have asked for much more. 10 minutes ago, it looked very bleak.
So first down and 10 from the Hudson Valley 39-yard line. 4 receivers, 1 back. Here is Willoughby. Short drop, pump fake. Now he's going to let this one fly deep down the far sideline, and it is incomplete. He was looking for the explosive Reginald Hoax there, but he was bracketed, had 2 defenders around him, and that pass didn't look particularly catchable anyhow. It's second down.
No, he was not getting through. He's not getting through the one cornerback, and we say double bracketed, and when it's on that sideline like that, I always like to throw the third one in there, which is the sideline. You can't get, if you picture it in your head, you can't run around that cornerback because you'll be out of bounds and ineligible. So it's good coverage by Hudson Valley.
Second down and 10 from the opposing 39. Here's the give. It's Darius Fleming, and he gets up to about the 34, so that'll be a gain of 5 and third down. Clock continues to roll.
Almost a very interesting dilemma. You put the ball up and it's not caught. The clock stops. You want to win the game. Sometimes you just let it do what you got to do.
Here's Willoughby looking to throw. Climbs the pocket. Fires over the middle. It's caught. Singleton Burnett. He had a big catch on the last drive, and now he's down inside the 10, or right at the 10.
Give a big shout out for that offensive line holding off Hudson Valley, giving Willoughby plenty of time to look for a receiver that he found.
The go up tempo here, and Willoughby will spike it with 44 seconds remaining. Cats do not have any timeouts remaining, so they had to spike it there. They wanted to stop the clock.
Well, sometimes because I was thinking, if I would done, I got to remember in college football, you're not going to probably stack a quarterback with 2 plays at a time. So putting the ball down, stopping the clock, getting the right play called, probably the smartest idea.
4 receivers, 2 on either side of the formation. Now man goes in motion. That snap a little bit low. The handoff goes to Darius Fleming, and that ball came out. And we'll see who has it. Hudson Valley came away with it. And it is recovered by the Vikings, and it looks like Willoughby is down, I believe. He gave his body up to try and recover that fumble, and now looks like he paid the price for it. There also is a flag down. Take another look at that.
Yep, I think it was number 3 who came in and stripped it out.
Would be Matt McGuigan.
Yep, just burst off the side and just got in there. I think when you had mentioned the snap was low, it threw the timing of the play off. It allowed the defender to get in there, punch that ball out. And then, of course, the worst part of this is Erie's quarterback is down on the turf.
And now Willoughby is up and being escorted over to the sidelines.
Got the trainer and a fellow player.
He did try and dive on that football there, but it doesn't appear like it's an upper body injury. It looks like something lower body. Maybe he got rolled over as players were making a beeline trying to recover that ball. So that'll be something to monitor here as we move into the second half. We know Willoughby has dealt with a number of different ailments this season.
And strangely, the last game, he was hurt late in the second quarter, I believe, and missed the second half. So history was repeating itself somewhat.
Here is Stone. He's going to throw it out on a screen to Gates. He's got a first. And they have 3 timeouts. Granted, they have a long way to go here, but they have a very capable field goal kicker in Jared Navidad. So maybe we'll see Hudson Valley be a little aggressive here and try and put some points on the board before we get out of here. Jared Navidad hit his career long of 53 in the last matchup between these two teams, which is a program record as well. Here's Stone looking, pressure coming off the edge. He's drifting. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, and he's got to tuck it and run, and he gets taken down at the 25. He'll gain yardage.
Kudos to Stone to really just climb the pocket, didn't see anybody, took some positive yardage. But if you're on the Hudson Valley side, I'm just thinking to myself, oh boy, he had that ball hanging out of his right hand uncovered. I watched the Lackawanna player come up from behind. And I think the coach is just going to let this run out and get to halftime.
Indeed. It is 21-all heading into half. We'll take a timeout when we come back. We'll recap that first half and get you all set for the second here of this Region 3 championship here between Hudson Valley and Erie Community College here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient personal approach for all of your transportation needs. More information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
At WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Are you an AD struggling to keep up with the social media needs of your teams? Check out Box Out Sports, a platform used by colleges and high schools all across the country. It's a true plug-and-play system where in less than 30 seconds you have access to over 1,000 templates that include your colors, your logos, and your information to highlight your student athletes. If you're interested in learning more, go to boxoutsports.com today.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. It is halftime here in this Region 3 championship matchup between the visiting Hudson Valley Community College Vikings and the Erie Community College Cats. We'll take a look at the highlights of the first half and show you how we got here. Taking a look, starting things off, the opening kickoff return. First, to open things up, Mark Rogers getting it down inside the 10-yard line, and then a short while later, ECC would capitalize. They would jump out to the early lead. Anthony Leach got the handoff there and took it in from a couple yards out. That would make it 7-0 right off the jump for ECC. And then the next possession, the only time we've seen Jaden Stewart today, took it himself on a quarterback keeper, but Delshawn Taylor all over it. And then on the next ECC possession, Noah Willoughby finds Jarrell Green up the seam for a 35-yard receiving touchdown. That would make it 14-0 in favor of ECC. Another look at that one right there. So that made it 14-0. But then Hudson Valley would have a response. There's a deep connection from Nate Stone to Micah Gates. Got him down around the 30-yard line. Eventually, they would work it down into the red zone. And Nathan Stone eventually on 4th down after a couple unsuccessful tries would get it right there, and that would cut it down to a 1-possession game. That was 6:03 left in the first quarter. And then next possession, Nathan Stone finds his man, Isaiah Allen. And Allen would take it all the way to the house there, and that would make it 14-13, and then eventually they would tie things up. And then Chance Bonner with a nice run there a few possessions later. And here 5 wide Stone. Almost had one intercepted, knocked away by Douglas Hunt. But ECC unable to do anything with it the following possession. And then Hudson Valley would get it back. From 23 yards out, Nathan Stone hooks up with Rodney Bell. That would make it 21-14. Then ECC, the offense, would find some life there as Noah Willoughby finds Tommy Hunt over the middle. Got it down into Hudson Valley territory. And then later on, Willoughby finds Troy Singleton. Burnett makes a man miss and is able to get it down in the red zone inside the 10-yard line down to the 5. And then with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, handed off to the up back, Anthony Leach. He's got his second touchdown in as many carries to tie it at 21. And then the offense would get the ball back. Looked like they might be able to score and take the lead heading into halftime, but it's fumbled away there. And on that play, Noah Willoughby was shaken up, suffered a lower body injury there. Darius Fleming, the ball carrier, fumbled it, and then Willoughby was shaken up, and his status is yet to be determined. We'll see who comes out as the signal caller for the second half. But, Paul, let's bring you in here before we take another break here. Your thoughts on that first half? Obviously, for both teams, it's going to be paramount to clean up the penalties.
Definitely clean up the penalties. You know, before we had started the highlights, I was talking to one of the coaches from Hudson Valley, and I was mentioning with the high number of penalties, it doesn't seem to bother the players. And he said, you know, really, it's one play and go. So whatever happened in the past, they let it go. However, to your point, clean up this game a little bit. Put your team in the position to score that winning points. I would think at halftime would be job one for the coaches to bring up, especially the unforced errors. No reason to jump off sides. No reason to move early.
And then for ECC, offensively, obviously there's a big question mark and some uncertainty surrounding the second half because a lot could be determined by who comes out as the signal caller for this second half. But offensively, as a unit, you have to feel good knowing that you didn't play your best half of football, but still this is a tie game heading into the second half.
Oh, without a doubt. It was unfortunate for the Cats to have that fumble late in the half. I would have liked to see if they could have a chance for that field goal at least and go up by 3. But a great play by the defensive end for Hudson Valley. He just came across and popped it out. So we go in tied now. My thoughts on that is we know that ECC likes a strong running game. But without Willoughby in there, I think that's going to be their choice, right? They're going to have to try to control the line of scrimmage. Play complementary football. If they don't get that first down, they got to get a good punt, and they got to play defense. They're going to do it the old-fashioned way for Hudson Valley. They just like spreading it out, and man, they go deeper than any team I've ever seen before. But they got the horses to do it.
And with that, we will take a timeout here, and when we come back, we'll have second half action on tap here. Region 3 championship between the Vikings and the Cats here. You're watching on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests, with custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get-together in Buffalo, this is where the party's at. Local vibes, zero stress, all fun. Book Room 40 today and throw a party Buffalo won't forget. Hit the link in our bio or visit wingnutsbuffalo.com/room40 to book now.
All right, well,
I'll go if you go to Wingnuts.
Deal.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
I'm George Wiley, a senior at Canisius High School. As the only Jesuit high school in Western New York, Canisius delivers a life-changing education. Canisius prepares young men for acceptance into the nation's finest universities, and our community supports us at each step of our journey. We are proud of our excellent athletics and our emphasis on service. This place is special. Let us show you why.
Experience firsthand the excellence of Canisius High School. Schedule your visit at canisiushigh.org.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
At WNYAthletics.com. You can thank me later.
WNYAthletics, your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Are you an AD struggling to keep up with the social media needs of your teams? Check out Box Out Sports, a platform used by colleges and high schools all across the country. It's a true plug-and-play system where in less than 30 seconds you have access to over 1,000 templates that include your colors, your logos, and your information to highlight your student athletes. If you're interested in learning more, go to boxoutsports.com today.
Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School. It is still halftime here in this Region 3 championship matchup between the Hudson Valley Community College Vikings and the Erie Community College Cats. Tanner Saunders, Paul Catrona here on the call. And Paul, one thing I wanted to get to that we didn't before that last break, defensively for ECC, obviously, going forward, you're going to want to be cognizant of some of these deep shots because they have not been bashful about trying to stretch the field. They've hit on a few of those. They've left some on the field as well, but definitely something you're going to want to try and limit here in the second half if you're the Cats defensively is limiting this vertical passing game.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch Erie. And I've been trying, just trying to make sure my eyeballs are correct. I haven't seen a lot of like one high. At least leave one of the safeties back, and then maybe split the field. Try to float to where you see that ball's getting tossed because mostly it's been one-on-one coverage. And as we've seen, Hudson Valley has some big, tall receivers with good hands. You're absolutely right because going to have to, well, again, we're assuming if Willoughby's out, but we know that at least his ankle's going to be bothering him if he does get in there to play.
He is down there on the sideline, up and walking around. It looks like he got some tape on that ankle. Not moving too bad. Looks like not noticeable limp or anything like that, so...
Nope. So I'm assuming he's coming in, and, on the fashion statement part, I've been reading about these new football pants that are kind of like shorts, and Noah's out there in a pair of those. Being an old-timer, I can't see it, but okay. That's what they're going to do nowadays. They're young, they're strong, they know what to do, and they know where they need protection. So they want their legs cleared, so no obstructions.
And for Willoughby, he'll have some extra time to walk off whatever was ailing him as Hudson Valley will receive the second half kickoff. This matchup, this is the 16th time that these teams are facing off since 2015. Hudson Valley, in that span, lead the series 11-4, including being winners of the last 10 matchups between these two teams. The last time that Erie defeated Hudson Valley Community College was October 27th, 2018. The Cats won that game 28-9.
So you can see Hudson Valley has just been one of those programs that have been able to attract good young freshmen and keep it rolling year by year by year. I was looking at Willoughby. It's definitely his left ankle, and it's taped up pretty good. So I'm assuming he's going to be out there.
We will see. And talking to the coaching staff for both teams down on the field, well, particularly Erie, before the game, they did say there is some bad blood between these two teams, and I'm sure the 10 straight wins for Hudson plays a part in that. But also with the star defensive tackle for Erie, Sammy Ikegwanu, he originally was going to play for Hudson Valley, but then had a change of heart at the last minute. Decided he wanted to play closer to home, and there was some drama there, so that played into it a little bit. But
because he was, he had. I'm not 100% sure on how the portal works on this level, but I'm assuming it's the exact same thing. So he had been past that point, but as I mentioned, you really don't want to keep a player that just doesn't want to be there, especially a freshman just starting off in college. So eventually Hudson Valley just said, okay, Sammy comes home. He's having a very good year here. He's got a world of untapped potential.
And they were talking him up, as I mentioned, just raving about him when we spoke to the coaching staff down on the field before today's game. They said that he could play on Sundays. Like he's
on Sundays.
He's got Aaron Donald level potential. That's what they told us.
How's that for a compliment, right?
Absolutely.
But as I'm watching him, he has got extremely fast feet. He's got and match that with upper body strength that's beyond his years, and that's what they're seeing in this young man. Donald, he somehow, for a smaller defensive tackle, had unbelievable first step, super fast quickness, but he was as strong as a bull. I'm On the Bill side, mention in pro football, that's where you see Ed Oliver, a very strong upper body. So that kind of body can get you to play on Sundays and probably make a lot of cash.
And for Sammy, they believe he has that potential, but they said for him it's just a matter of he himself tapping into that and believing he has that type of potential. Here goes Mark Rogers on the return, and there is something we saw far too often in that first half. There is a flag down in the run back.
Unfortunately for Erie, many times that's a player reaching to make that block where I just said before, you just forget it. You're going to be caught. You're out on the edge. It's pretty obvious.
It's the 13th penalty of the day against the Cats, according to my count. So that'll wipe away a nice return there by Mark Rogers. He had a long return on the opening kickoff that set up a very short field, which resulted in a touchdown for ECC to take the early 7-0 lead. And there is Noah Willoughby out on the field. We saw him get banged up there at the end of the first half. Good to see that he is no worse for wear and will be able to tough this thing out.
One thing about Willoughby throughout his high school career and his college career, he's always been that warrior mentality. You probably have to get a steamroller to roll over him before he'd give it up.
Willoughby throws on first down. It is incomplete. Tommy Hunt was the intended target. Hudson Valley, the coin toss, they deferred their choice to the second half and elected to kick it off, evidently. They kicked it off to start the first half and kicked it off to start the second. Not often you'd see that.
No, and so they're taking the wind for the fourth quarter. So they decided that wind was more an advantage than getting the ball on the first drive.
4 receivers here on second down. Warburton the back, and that snap a little mishandled. He's able to get it to Warburton, and here he goes. He's got a crease, and there's that north-south ability there for Warburton as he keeps rumbling up to midfield.
So I mentioned steamroller before. That's just exactly what popped into my head as he pops through that hole. He just ran over players.
Tough to bring down when he's in the open field when he gets a full head of steam. And that's on full display.
He's a strong, straight-up runner. He's not like, leaning. He's just bowling over people.
1st and 10 now. They have it in Vikings territory, do the Cats. 4 receivers here in the pattern. Give to Warburton. And this time he is unable to get a full head of steam there. He is taken down, looks like lost a yard, if anything.
Well, with every great running back who is strong, big, and fast, you want to stop them, get them before they get that head steam going, get them right on the line of scrimmage. That was good defense by Hudson Valley.
It'll be 2nd down and 11. And they'll stick with the same formation here. 2 receivers on either side of the pattern. Warburton, the back. Here's the snap. Willoughby drops back, now stepping up in the pocket. He's going to launch this one deep, showing off the arm, and it is overthrown and incomplete. Gabriel Wright was the intended target, but Makai Smith, the defensive back, arguably had a better crack at it than Wright.
Yeah, that ball just kind of floated more in the center of the field, making it very dangerous if you're on the Cat side, much closer to the defensive back.
So 3rd down and 11 upcoming for ECC. 3 for 7 on 3rd downs today. And Willoughby's going to pull it out. He got hammered, but he finds his man, Jarrell Green, and Green makes a man miss, and now he's going to be taken down at the 26-yard line. 1st down, Cats.
What a toss. What a toss there by Noah Willoughby.
And right with a man in his face, Fernandez is all up in his grill, but give him credit for being able to throw it around him and find Green. And Jarrell Green earlier in this game, his first catch, he had a 35-yard receiving touchdown. And with that catch, that put him over 500 career receiving yards, and now he just continues to add to that with that grab there. Now man goes in motion on first down. Willoughby's going to drop back. He's going to fire to the near side. That is incomplete. His man, Troy Singleton Burnett, laid out for it, but could not reel it in.
Second down and 10 from the Vikings 26.
Second and 10 from the 26.
You know, sometimes when you're a quarterback, you're just trying to be so perfect on the throw. I think that's all that happened there.
Man in motion, flag down. And they're going to go false start. I believe that's the 14th penalty now against ECC.
I'd like to see that over again. I don't know if the receiver didn't set before he went in motion. I didn't see anybody on the offensive line moving.
Although sometimes it can just be the most subtle of flinches that they can get the offensive line for.
And it could be the center just moving the ball a touch.
Second down now. Willoughby takes a deep drop. He's trying to set a screen. He finds Warburton, and he is taken down right off the jump, and there is a flag down as well.
That was number 9, Brandon White, just read the play beautifully. Just kept his head up and just lowered the boom there. But as has happened many times today, another flag.
And it is against ECC, so I believe that's now the 30th combined penalty.
The penalty is for ineligible man downfield for the catch.
Was ineligible man downfield. Brandon White made that tackle there on Warburton. Coming into this game, had 54 total tackles, 7.5 TFLs, 4.5 sacks, as well as a forced fumble. Second down, Willoughby takes the snap. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, fires to the near side. It's caught by Tristan Park, and here goes Park. He is going to be pushed out of bounds there by the former Ken West player there, Deontay Rogers.
I love Park's route, that conception on that route, just going down full speed, hooks in underneath the zone. It's a good gain for, you're trying to get a first down, but you can't get 20 or 15, 20 yards at a pop generally, so you got about half of that yardage back, and you put yourself in third and manageable.
Third down for ECC. According to my count, they've been very good on third down today, 4 for 8. Coming into this game, they were converting third downs at a measly 22.7%, but they have been fantastic today. Here, third down, Willoughby, pump fake now, throws, that is incomplete, trying again to feed it to Warburton on a screen, but Brandon White, even if he had been able to connect, was there. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit, it looks like. Gavin Carney. Gabriel Kemp has been handling the PAT duties, but Carney will handle the place kicking. And on the season, not been his best this year. 4 for 12 coming into this game. Tommy Hunt is the holder. And Stratton the long snapper. Here goes the kick. It is on the way, and Carney drilled it. So ECC, and there he goes, walking over the sidelines with his hands out, like, I think I got my swagger back.
There you go.
Carney.
Carney's got a big leg. He started off very good in the early part of the year, hit a little rough patch. See the mechanics on everything from the snap to the placement to the kick, and read the wind well. Strange thing, maybe, I don't know. Carney was out well before any of the rest of the team, and he was standing at around that 30, 35-yard marker. I thought he was going to just do some kicking off of the tee that can hold it for place kicking, but he wasn't. He was talking to a coach, just talking. And I wonder if they talked about, listen, if you do get the opportunity here, this is the way the wind is playing. Maybe like a good golfer, you got to know how the wind is going to affect your ball. But that kick was true. Kind of floated to the right because that's where it's getting pushed over. But good for the Cats. They're up by 3 now.
And good for Kearney as well. That's a huge monkey off his back. Coming into this game, he had missed his last 5 consecutive field goal attempts. So great for him to get the monkey off his back there and see one go through. It's kind of like basketball. Sometimes if you're a shooter, all you need to see is one go through the net before the rest start falling. And he absolutely booms this one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
You know, Kearney is a young man up from Louisiana. He had an offer from LSU, D1 program, as a preferred walk-on. He'd have to have earned his scholarship, and maybe that would take a year or two there. But he has the leg. We noticed that in the very first game. He's got a very, very strong leg. But as you mentioned too, you got to have confidence, and success breeds confidence. He was on a little bit of a down streak, but you know, I'm watching him now. He's still just jumping, high-fiving people. Very, very happy young man.
And now back to Hudson Valley. Here goes Bonner as he gets taken down along the near sideline by the safety Jamal Drummond. Had an interception last week in the game against Nassau.
Watching Bonner, I enjoy watching him run through that hole. It's a little off tackle trap play, but once he breaks the line of scrimmage, he's just got a body lean. You can just see it how he's running toward the sideline at an angle. He sees open space and he takes it. Just a nice, solid runner.
Second down and short. 2 backs here in the backfield. And it's going to be a pitch to the far side to Chance Bonner. And Bonner is going to have the first down here.
And one trend I've noticed is anytime that Bonner's had a good run, they reward him basically with another run the next play. I'm sure the Cats coaches know this. Maybe it's a trend they do over at Hudson Valley, but nonetheless, he picks up that first down now. We were talking about always rewarding a keeper if he gets a shutout.
Like Alex Lyon did today.
There you go, and so he should have the next start for the Sabres. So same thing with running backs. They get in a groove too.
Giving his former team, the Florida Panthers, the business. Here goes the handoff to Bonner, and a flag comes down in the offensive backfield. It's going to be a hold against the Vikings. So that'll back them up. But going back to Chance Bonner, coming into this game, had over 400 rushing yards, 405 to be exact, 4 touchdowns. I mentioned last week he had a career game, 199 rushing yards. Through the first 5 games of the season, he had 206. So he almost matched his rushing total from the first 5 games of the season just last week alone.
Probably had a double bowl of Cheerios that morning or something. But you know what? That's how way running backs are. They can get streaky. They can have huge games. You just got to ride the horse who's hot.
Stone throws Santiago. He's got some blockers out in front, and he'll get back some of the lost penalty yardage as you can see Jalen Yearwood coming in from behind there, number 91, trying to peanut punch that ball out.
You know, it's a two-edged sword. When you stand up straight and you keep your legs moving like that in that pile, you better make sure both arms are covering that ball because, as you said, defensive backs now in the college level, they're learning, probably in the high school level, how to peanut punch those balls out of there.
It's going to be second down and 11. They're going to pitch it here, and ECC defense is all over that one. Nice play there by Denane Dixon Jr.
Yeah, Dixon just blows off. He just gets one step, two step, and set the edge. Running back had really nowhere to go. Big play by ECC to try to slow down this explosive offense.
3rd and long here. This is where you have to watch out for the deep ball. Here goes Stone, and he is pressured. Ikegwanu giving chase. He fires cross body, and that one is incomplete. So the pressure there from Sammy Ikegwanu made that very difficult there, making life difficult for the Vikings offense, and that's going to force a punt.
And very good pass rush by Lackawanna. But one thing I liked about it too, if you're on the Lackawanna side, if you're on the Cat side, forcing that right-handed quarterback to scramble left, it makes it a tougher throw, and that's just good defense. Pressure righties to the left, pressure lefties to the right.
Jackson Moritz back to return the Connor Jackson punt. And he won't have a chance. Well, he gets his hands on it, but that ball is going out of bounds. So ECC, the offense, retakes the field, up 3 here, midway through the 3rd quarter.
You know, this is a very favorable position for Erie to get that ball. We watched in the 2nd quarter, particularly early, or almost the entire thing, actually. They had long fields to go. Hudson was able to flip fields on punts. That punt wasn't particularly a great punt. Erie now has a chance to extend their lead.
4 receivers here. Next looks like 3 receivers, a back and a tight end. Willoughby pulls it and keeps it himself on the read option. Now angling out toward the near sideline. He took a hit there along the near sideline, and they're going to let it go.
Yeah, I think he was just in bounds still. Well, if you had any doubt about his ankle earlier as the half began, I think he's moving quite well on that. So good fortune for the Cats. The quarterback wasn't injured. And, again, I like quarterbacks who take chances and throw their bodies around.
Willoughby had a rushing touchdown last week right in the start of the 4th quarter against Nassau. Now they come out with 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side of the formation. Here's the snap. Willoughby throws to the flat. It is caught by Darius Fleming with blockers in front. He'll gain a couple here. It'll bring up 3rd down. Fleming had the fumble right at the end of the first half that kept points off the board potentially for ECC. And again, it's the Ken West product, Deontay Rogers on the stop.
Brings up 3rd down and 2 for the Cats.
Third down and 2 for ECC. Willoughby surveying the defense, takes the snap. He's going to look to throw. He fires out to the far side of the field. It's caught by Jarrell Green. And with the catch alone there, unable to get any yards after contact, but he's got enough for the 1st down, no less.
Green, a very slippery receiver. He tried to step, just catch the ball and step inside, but I think it was number 41, Christian Jones. Good defensive play, got over there. Wasn't fooled by the deke and just brought him down. But you know what? If you're the Cats cheerleader today, you're cheering quite well there because they needed that 1st down.
And they get it into Hudson Valley territory. And Willoughby going to call timeout as the play clock was running down, trying to avoid the penalty there, but going back to Jarrell Green, came into this game 3rd in receiving yards on the team behind Reginald Hoax and a yard behind Tristan Park. We'll take a timeout here as well as the Cats back after this on Western New York Athletics. Out of a timeout here, it is first down and 10, just over 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Between ECC and Hudson Valley, Willoughby takes the snap and he fires quick. That one was nearly intercepted.
Willoughby's reacting to a 5-man rush that was coming right up the middle. Tried to get rid of the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. I'm sure he'd love to have that back. That was a dangerous toss.
Daniel Abu there, drop back right in front of Jarrell Green. Willoughby didn't see him, nearly came away with his first interception of the season.
I'm sure Abu would love to have that ball. That came out of Willoughby's hands really hot, though. Tough ball to catch.
Now here's Willoughby. He's going to throw this one near side, and that's incomplete. That one put in harm's way as well. The diving Deontay Rogers is the closest one to it.
And I'm not sure how much it played into a factor, but I saw on the snap, Willoughby brought the ball up to throw, and it slipped out of his hand for a second, and then he made that throw. So, quarterback play, receiver, all this stuff, it's all set timing, and when something interferes with that timing, it's difficult to make the precision toss you got to make.
Again, he was targeting Jarrell Green. It is third down and 10. Here's the snap. Willoughby dropping back, now hanging tight in the pocket, and down he goes. Matt Fernandez gets the sack. That's his second of the season. We'll take another look here.
Back to return for the Vikings, number 1, Isaiah Allen.
Willoughby stayed upright for the most part today. He's gotten hit for a couple times, but that's the first sack of the game. And now that'll bring out Gavin Carney, who gave the Cats the lead on the last possession, but now he'll be punting it away here. Gets a nice hold of that one. Driving back, Isaiah Allen. He's probably would have been better served letting that one go, but he fields it and is able to get something positive out of that at least.
If we got a replay, I wonder. I didn't know if he caught it inside or inside the goal or past the goal line or not. So I don't know why he would have brought it out.
He caught it around the 1 yard line, but still
so he
better served. Probably letting that one go would have been.
That would have been the decision to make. But once he made that decision, I wasn't quite sure if he was in the end zone or not. And definitely in that case, don't bring it out. But I think definitely in either case, don't touch the ball.
It's hard to telegraph where that ball is going to bounce, but you have to figure that's probably going to be a touchback if he lets it go.
Definitely with the kind of wind we're having here.
So here is Stone. He's going to throw this one over the middle, and that one is incomplete. Just a little bit low there for Santiago, and it looks like there is a flag down in the offensive backfield. And it is against the defense, encroachment. That'll make it 1st and 5 there. That could have been a big gain though, just a little bit low. Looking for Damian Santiago.
Yep, in that case, I think the wind was knocking the ball down.
Now here is Stone. He just flips this one ahead to Chance Bonner. He makes a man miss, and here goes Bonner. There is another flag down. If the play stands, it'll be a 1st down.
I was about to mention, I think we were tied in penalties, and I think Hudson Valley now is taking the lead.
With that, yes. (17-16), the penalties now. Hudson Valley leading in that dubious category. Certainly that's not an area in which you want to lead.
Definitely not. You know, Tanner, I was thinking with those little kind of flick passes to the running back, I've always enjoyed seeing those because you're really trying to you got a defensive line that's really fast on their feet. You're trying to invite them in, let them get by the receiver, basically the running back, and then just flick it. There's nobody there then.
So first down here, Stone. He's going to air this one out deep down the far sideline, and that's incomplete. Just a little too far off the mark. He was looking for Micah Gates.
Yep, and if Gates was able to bring that in, there was nobody but the end zone there waiting for him.
Gates last season averaged 20.5 yards per reception, which was the second highest mark in program history. Last year, 33 receptions, 678 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
You can see why, right? He's just got some wheels. He's fast.
He was named a 2024 NJCAA Division III football All-American. He was named second-team offense. Now second down, here's Stone. Looking, firing near side, caught Santiago, and he gets knocked out of bounds there by Zakir Rossman, but he's got the first.
Tackle made on play by 14 of the Cats, Zakir Rossman.
You can just see how much that Erie respects the speed of these players. They're playing well off of the Hudson Valley wide men. I know it's irritating to fans when you see that because you want tight coverage. The problem is receivers nowadays are taught you get that kind of tight coverage, go ahead and break it up, and we'll find you.
Here's a handoff. Bonner finds a crease up the middle and now will be taken down at the 30-yard line, gain of about 4.
It's a clean run, just a little sidestep to the left, up probably between the guard and the tackle. Nice little hole, seam there, run in. Give your team a great chance for a first down.
And Ike Guanu just came off the field here for this second down. Doesn't appear to be injury related, just a routine substitution, but if there was ever a time to try and run the ball, now would be the time to do so, and that's exactly what they do. Bonner has a first down.
I guess where they run, right where Sam left.
And now right on cue, he's coming back. First down and 10 for the Vikings. They go trips near side. Here's Stone, handoff to Bonner. And looks like that ball might have come out at the end. And it is Cats football, they signal.
Well, you can tell. You know who knows more than any of us up here? The players. Right. Immediately, SUNY Erie's guys were up, pointing, and then we saw the official make it official. So
Jalen Yearwood, it appears, number 91 with the recovery. Oh, yeah, and I think...
was it 98?
I believe 92 got the punch.
Ripped it out of there. Jaden Ransom.
And then Jalen Yearwood, the recovery.
Boy, very opportunistic. Hudson Valley was putting together a nice little drive there, and primarily on the ground. When you want to win games, you soften that defense up as much as you can, defensive line, from quarters 1 to 3, because you want them tired in the fourth quarter, and that started looking very, very ominous for the Cats. But opportunistic defense gets the ball, puts the ball in play for the offense, maybe to get a touchdown.
Jaden Ransom gets his first forced fumble of the season, and it's the second fumble recovery of the season for Jalen Yearwood. But talking a little bit about Jaden Ransom, comes to this program from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. He finished his senior season at Williamsport. 85 tackles, 20 sacks, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries in 13 games. He had at least 1 sack in 10 of his 13 games. His 20 sacks were #1 in the state of Pennsylvania, 29th in the nation. Also set a school record for most sacks in a single game with 7. He did that in a 15-6 district playoff win over Hazleton.
They make football players down in Pennsylvania, don't they?
Low snap, Willoughby fires on a screen. It is caught over on the far side of the field, and Troy Singleton Burnett is still on his feet and finally gets dragged down, but not before he picks up a Cats first down.
It was such an athletic play, you know, getting that ball, digging it out of the dirt, being able to pop up. Just keep yourself balanced and move forward, and good things happen, as we keep saying. Keep your legs churning, and good things will happen, and there it did.
First down and 10, ball spotted around the 31-yard line. Torrey Anderson checks in as the back. They have 4 receivers as well. Willoughby takes the snap, now looking, fires down the far sideline. It is caught inside the 5-yard line. Kylie Scott Harper. Moss is the defensive back right there, and now it's goal to go for the Cats.
Yeah, Kyle Green, the defensive back there, freshman. He's from Bennett in Buffalo. Was just outreached for the ball.
Kylie Scott Harper using all 6 feet 4 inches of that frame of his. Wow.
He popped up thinking he got tripped and he got pushed down. Really, what happened was just out-jumped.
And on that note, that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Time to make the switch to the fourth. ECC leads 24-21, but they are knocking on the door here of the goal line. We'll be back for the start of the fourth here on Western New York Athletics.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Wing nuts. You still got to go.
Have you guys tried Room 40 yet?
Looking for the perfect spot to throw your next party? Say hello to Room 40, our private event space at both Wingnuts locations. Maybe you got a birthday, a graduation, anniversary, business event, rehearsal dinner, or even a sports banquet. From intimate get-togethers to rowdy celebrations, Room 40 is built to handle it all and fits up to 60 guests. With custom food and drink packages, flexible setups, legendary Wingnuts hospitality, and all the wings you can handle. If you're planning a celebration or get
Welcome back here for the start of the fourth quarter here between at Williamsville South High School, between ECC and Hudson Valley. They are inside the red zone here, inside the 5-yard line to start things off. There's a handoff to the up back there. That is Anthony Leach, and that's his first carry of the day that hasn't gone for 6.
Again, just hat on hat, man on man, big force against big force. I was thinking to myself, well, for the third quarter, Erie took advantage of the wind behind their back, got a long field goal, got a really nice toss there. Now it's going to be up to them to play into the wind, but they have a huge opportunity here for a score.
Second and goal from the 2. It's going to be a pitch to Hoax. Cuts it up the field, and he's not going to get there. Taken down around the 2-yard line. This all was set up the last play of the third quarter. About just shy of a 30-yard hookup between Noah Willoughby and Kylie Scott Harper to get him down here. And every time ECC has gotten in the red zone, they have scored touchdowns, 2 for 2, trying to make it 3 for 3 here.
That was a massive, great defensive play to stop him.
Third down, the handoff, and Anthony Leach, it's a hat trick. That'll make it 30-21 Cats here with the PAT pending. Third touchdown of the day for Anthony Leach.
Well, Leach, I'm going to call him U.S. Freight Train Leach on that play. There was no stopping him. He just got great speed, turned up, and he's north-south, and he just rolled right in there. That's how you use your size advantage.
So that makes it 30-21 here, late stages of the fourth quarter. Early stages, I should say. 13 and change left. Gabriel Kempf lines up for the extra point. Tommy Hunt to hold. Snap down, kick on the way. And it's good. 10-point game here, just under 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
We see another flag just tossed.
As we take another look here at the third of the day for Anthony Leach.
Wonderful blocking, by the way. Hat on hat, made the little seam, and as I said, the U.S. Freight Train came just barreling in there. But, you know, as always, it's the big guys up front that open up that hole for the big guy behind to score, so hats off to the Cats there.
So that puts ECC up 10, but you certainly cannot count this Hudson Valley team out. They were down late in the game last week against Sussex County. Sussex County led 34-24 with about 10.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Hudson Valley would score on a 22-yard touchdown pass from Nathan Stone to Damian Santiago to make it a 34-31 game with 3.5 minutes remaining. And then they would get the ball back. Jared Navidad kicked the game-tying 43-yard field goal with 5 seconds remaining. And then he would kick the go-ahead 39-yard field goal in overtime, and the Sussex offense was unable to answer.
So Hudson Valley knows those cardiac kid kind of games, right?
Yep.
So a 10-point hole with 13 minutes left. They're probably thinking, they got this game in the bag then.
Right, been there, done that.
Been there, done that. We'll do it again this week, right? We'll double dip weeks.
Here is Gavin Carney, kind of a low line drive kick. It's going to be fielded at the 1 by Rodney Bell. Now Bell up the near sideline, and he's going to be taken out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Justin Williams makes another special teams tackle.
Good hustle on the kick team to make that tackle down there. Keep Hudson Valley, and I consider anywhere between the 20 and the 30 a safe zone to start a drive if you're on the defensive side. I want to see how many times they put the ball up in the air with the wind in their back now. Hudson Valley's been very successful tossing it long.
First down and 10, and Stone, they're going to set up a screen here. It is caught by Myquan Rush Esdale, and now he appears to have a first down. And again, there's a man down for ECC. Right around the 35-yard line.
Can't see his number.
Thought it might be Ike Guanu, but he's up and moving around. He's at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it might be Delshawn Taylor. I just didn't catch his number. He was the trail person trying to catch the running back, and he was pretty close. I'm wondering if he got maybe kicked in the face. He dove for him. Helmets can cover so much, but a little bit, the helmet might have moved up. Maybe it's just something like that. It was an effort play, though.
Now some of the coaching staff coming over and checking on the injured man. Looks like they've got him sat up at least, which is a good sign.
And they're talking to him, so hopefully everything will be okay. I always say, you want to see these student athletes in class on Monday.
and it is Taylor. And I alluded to it earlier, but he has been phenomenal this season. Coming into this game, 35 total tackles, 21 TFLs, 6.5 sacks. Also has an interception, returned for a touchdown. Granted, it was only 3 yards, but
it might be maybe his arm, because he dove to try to make the tackle. I see them working out his right arm there.
Taylor also partially blocked the extra point last week that sealed the victory. Now Stone got hit as he threw there. It's intercepted by Jamal Drummond, his second pick in as many games. And that'll give the ball back to the offense with 13 minutes left, as Stone got hit as he threw right there. That ball hung up like a duck there, and Jamal Drummond has the INT. We'll take another look here.
And you won't be surprised then who made that tackle. I'll give you one guess who made that hit on.
Yeah, it was the pressure by Ike Guanu. You see the swim move, got in there, got a hit on Stone, forced that ball to hang up, and Jamal Drummond comes away with the INT.
You know what? I could watch that play over and over and over again, not for rooting purposes, but just for teaching purposes. That was perfectly executed. You're absolutely right. That swim move gave him freedom, and then there was no mistake on what happened after that.
Now 4 receivers here out on 1st and 10. Warburton is the back, and miscommunication there. Willoughby went to hand it off one way, and then Warburton ran the other.
Now, I'm partial to quarterback, so I would say the quarterback was correct. But, of course, I could be wrong.
For Nathan Stone, that is his 14th interception of the season. But over the last 3 weeks, coming into this game, only had 1 pick, so he's done very good taking care of the football as of late. But the pressure from Ike Guanu forcing that turnover there.
You know, he's just getting rid of it as he's really getting engaged, so that took a lot of velocity and distance off the ball.
Willoughby, short drop, fires far side. The pass is caught, but then closed in on quickly there.
I laughed to myself because we're talking about interceptions, and that ball had to be a half a second. If it was a half a second late, that may have been a pick six. Quarterbacks live on the edge, right? They believe in themselves. They believe in their throwing ability. They're going to toss it out there. That was for a 4-yard gain. That was about a 20-yard toss.
Khalil Golden made the break on the ball there to stop that for a short gain. I believe it was Reginald Hoax the third on the catch. 3rd down for the Cats. Here's the snap. Willoughby dropping back. Now pressure coming his way. He's able to dump it off. It is caught by Reginald Hoax on the crosser, and he has a Cats first down.
I've been watching these crossers. Erie has lived on them today.
Good job by Willoughby extending the play there, and also by Hoax making himself available for the quarterback. The quarterback's rolling right. As a receiver, you should be moving right as well.
Yep, and you know what happens too is, and I didn't catch the number of the defender, he's thinking that Willoughby's going to run. He left the receiver. Willoughby smartly said, you know what, I could throw this ball and not get smashed, and that was a good decision by him.
1st and 10 from the 45. Willoughby, here's a give to Warburton. He's got a crease up the middle. Cameron Warburton now bouncing it toward the outside and taken down at the far hash around the 20-yard line. There's a big chunk there for Cameron Warburton.
That's a big boy run, isn't it? And how would you like to be one of those smaller defensive backs seeing that guy come at you? Just slithered through that A gap, and man, he saw nothing but end zone there.
And that's certainly a welcome sight for the Cats. Running the ball has not exactly been their strong suit this season.
And you're trying to not only score a touchdown, but take a minute or two off this clock.
Here is Willoughby, pulls it out, throws, looking for Green. It's incomplete. That was Mackay Smith in coverage. But as I mentioned, the Cats, the run game this year, the last time these two teams met, they were outgained 175-43 on the ground. And last week for the Cats, They ran the ball 27 times for only 28 net yards. They've been held to under 2 yards a carry in 4 of their 7 games this year, so it helps.
It's funny against a really high-quality opponent. The offensive line's playing probably their best game of the year.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Willoughby looking. He's going to throw it on a screen to Warburton, and he got hammered down there by Dominic Jones. There is a flag down late.
I'm just looking to see if there was somebody downfield.
Refs must have had a conference or something at halftime because the flags have been not nearly as plentiful as they were in the first half here in the second half.
Yeah, you know what? I just lost his number, but I thought I saw the left tackles get downfield a little far.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 now from the 25.
Something tells me that was really going to be more of a screen play type. It didn't end up developing like that because no, it was the right guard actually. So he fired and he just left the line of scrimmage right off the get-go.
4 wide, Willoughby looking to throw. Willoughby just fires this one. It is tipped, and could he catch it? No, incomplete.
Wow.
Matt McGuigan nearly made an uber athletic play there, trying to tip the ball to himself, but just couldn't reel it in.
Wow, if that ball's down 1 inch more, that's exactly what would have occurred.
So 3rd down and 15 upcoming from the 25. And if you're Willoughby here, certainly
sacks.
don't want to, no sacks, no negative plays, certainly don't want to turnover. At this point, you almost be content just gaining some yardage to set up Kearney for a field goal. He has made one in this game. Here's Willoughby. He's going to throw it out in the flat to Warburton. It's incomplete.
Too bad there. Just a little too much mustard, I'd say. Just lay it out just a little softer. And you know what? They had it blocked up pretty good. We don't know what would have happened there. This could be a difficult kick going into the wind here. Got a 10-point advantage. I would not go for. I would not go for it. Somebody was yelling they should go for it. I just don't think so.
Yeah, not on 4th and 15.
No, the payback's not the reward for not getting the first down.
The risk outweighs the reward.
Yeah, it's just
4th down and 15. We'll take a timeout here as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about
Lined up for a field goal is Gavin Kearney. This is from 42 yards, which would tie his season long. Snaps a little bit high. The kick is low, and it's no good. So Kearney 1 for 2 on the day.
Really, with that high snap, lucky to get the kickoff. We were debating it during the timeout, and I think the old saying, "The juice isn't worth the squeeze." I still did the math in my head. I'd rather be up by 13 than 10, obviously, because in the worst case scenario, the opponent scores 2 touchdowns. You still have a chance for 1 kick to win it for you. So I'd go with the math. It was a good attempt. Unfortunately for the Cats, a little high on the snap because I think he had the leg to. I think Kearney has the leg to put it in.
The lead remains 10 with just under 10 minutes left in the game. We saw Hudson Valley erase a 10-point deficit with about 10 minutes left last week, and they're off to a good start on this drive here as going deep over the middle. Stone finds Gates.
Great post run there.
And he had Jalen Yearwood all in his face there, but was still able to get that one off.
Yep. You know, quarterbacking, as I said, you live on a razor-thin edge. If you can hang in there and deliver the ball, you're a hero.
And now this pass is going to be caught over along the far sideline by Damian Santiago. He's got a first down, back-to-back first downs through the air for the Vikings.
Both patterns are timing patterns, just a beautiful little out there. Quarterback, 3-step, throw the ball to the point, and boom, you've moved your team now a good 30 yards in 2 plays.
And he's going to launch this one deep down the sideline looking for Gates, and that's over his head and incomplete. Second down as the Vikings looking for their first points of the second half here.
You got to love the way the Vikings play, right? They're just going to go downtown every chance they get. They're going to tire you out one way or the other, either with that big offensive line pounding you, or they're just going to keep running your defensive back so they get tired. That was very good coverage, though, by number 19 for Erie. I don't see it, number 19, but in any case, it was very good coverage.
Here is Stone. He is going to roll to his left. Now he's going to fire it back across the field to his right. He's got a man open. It's Rodney Bell, and now Bell looked like stepped out of bounds at the 7 or 6 yard line.
Wow, what a play. Really read the defense well, didn't he?
Boy, you want to talk about the cardinal sin of quarterbacking. It's doing that, but Stone gets away with it.
You know what? I think 100% that's by design. Both receivers were on go routes. They stopped. They come back. Stone took his time, looking to his left, and just turned, boom, delivered the ball. Those guys coming back, the ECC defenders just kind of moved back a little bit and giving them all that space.
Like I said, that for any other quarterback, that's the cardinal sin
yes.
of quarterbacks, when you roll to your opposite side and then throw it all the way across the field. But when you got an arm like Stone, you can get away with that. And something I alluded to earlier, coming into this game, had 13 interceptions, which might sound like a lot, but he has taken better care of the football as of late.
And I truly believe that was a set play. That was a design play to take advantage of what the Vikings coaches have been seeing from the defensive play of the Cats. So, but as you said, that's risky. But you're down by 10. It's fourth quarter. It's getting mid fourth quarter. You have to get the ball in that end zone at least once and a field goal just to tie it, and twice if you want to win it. So, I believe in taking chances. I want to win games, right?
And I think this drive, a good example of why you can never count this Vikings team out, because they can pick up yards in bunches. Here goes the give to Chance Bonner, and he's taken down around the 5 yard line. Looks like another man down. Ike Guanu is laying down on his backside, but he pops back up there.
If I ever run into him again, I'm going to mention he's got a lot of Jim Brown in him. Jimmy Brown would get popped really hard and just kind of lay there like he was done for the day, then get up and tear out another 100 yards.
The late, great Jim Brown. Now second down. Give to Bonner. And he is going to fight inside the 5 yard line. Looks like down to the 4 before he finally gets wrapped up there and taken down by Jalen Yearwood. And now Trevor Wallace comes into the game on the defensive line for Sammy Ike Guanu. It's third down and goal from the 4 yard line. Stone looking, Here comes the pressure, and he cannot escape. Down he goes. Denane Dixon Jr. makes the play again.
There could be a flag there for intentional grounding.
And there it is. It is intentional grounding.
Yeah. It's interesting because I thought his knee was already down.
Take another look here.
That play results in a loss of down. It's still 4th down.
That's tough there. It's a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
But luckily for Hudson Valley, they do have a very capable field goal kicker in Jared Navidad on the season coming into this game. 12 for 14 and 29 for 30 on PATs. Here's the snap. Kick down. It's up. It's good. So it's a 7-point game now, 31-24 with 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
That ball lands 20 yards past the goalpost. It would have been good from well past 40 yards.
But Jared Navidad, he had a career game the last time these two teams played. He was named the NJCAA Region 3 Athlete of the Week on September 30th following their 42-14 win over the Cats on September 27th. He set multiple program records in that game with 5 consecutive made field goals, including the longest made field goal in program history of 53 yards.
Yeah, you could just see so that kick was a walk in the park for that young man. Now 7-point lead by Erie. Obviously, they want to have a decent return if possible, but whatever, they really want to have a long drive with some points coming from it, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown.
Jared Navidad played 2 years of varsity football for the Rams of Carmel High School. In his time there, went 9 for 12 on field goals, 91 of 94 on extra points.
ECC's up, making sure there's no funny business on the kick.
And he's going to boot this one deep. It is over the head of Reginald Hoax, and it's going to die at the 1-yard line there, so he's forced to pick it up. And now Hoax on the run back. He's going to make something out of this. Up past the 20. Here goes Reginald Hoax. He's got one man to beat, Navidad. And now he cuts it back to the far side of the field. Reginald Hoax still on his feet. Reginald Hoax, can he go all the way? He's got a convoy to escort him into the end zone. And Reginald Hoax takes it in for the touchdown. 99-yard return. There's a flag down late.
Oh, there's a whole host of them, but you know what I just saw? A reincarnation of Sanders back in his day in high school. He did something like that. Primetime Sanders. Now we'll say primetime Hoax. That was unbelievable. Keeping on his feet, balanced, hit a couple times. I mean, you're going to penalize them for being over-exuberant. I wouldn't agree with doing stuff like that. I don't really know what the call is. Oh, it looks like it's on Hudson Valley. So I'm glad to see that. Sometimes officials don't like when you get a little too exuberant.
Well, if there was any doubt that Reginald Hoax is one of the best return men in the country, I think
we just saw it.
Yeah, he showed why. He had a 100-yard kickoff return in the first meeting between these two teams and now takes that one in from 99 yards out. And now the PAT from Gabriel Kemp is up, and it is good. 5:41 left. How's that for an answer? Reginald Hoax returns the kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown. And let's take another look at that. It's so nice you had to see it twice. All in all, he probably ran about 150 yards on the return with how he ran all the way across the field.
So that's 2, 3, 4, and then just wise choices there, and then all the big ships came and escorted him home.
He's running out of gas there toward the end. But, wow, how about that for Reginald Hoax?
You know, we don't know the outcome of this game yet, obviously. But I remember a game against against the Atlanta Falcons, where the aforementioned primetime brought back a touchdown late, and then the Falcons kick a very late field goal and beat the Bills. And former great general manager Bill Polian said after the game, he goes, sometimes superstars do what superstars do and you lose. And that's just the way it was. That was an unbelievable return. Probably one of the most exciting things I've seen so far this fall in college or high school football.
Reginald Hoax coming into this game had 12 kick returns, 340 yards, and a touchdown, averaging 28.3 yards per kickoff return. Last week, he was very good in the return game as well. He had 3 kick returns for 131 yards, averaged 43.7 yards per return with a long of 57.
So Hudson Valley received a double penalty there. They moved the ball up 30 yards.
Yeah.
Funny, we're hearing a couple things going through my mind too. Why not try an onside kick and see if you can get it? But I guess the safest thing to do is just do it. I also thought about, hey, maybe you want to squib it here and try to pin him down a little closer to the goal line. But I believe when you're hot, you're hot. I think I might have tried a onside kick there.
Yeah, why not?
Of course, as bringing up old Bills icons, as Marv said, when you start thinking like a fan, you're soon sitting with them. And I'm sure the coaches at ECC were thinking the same thing. Let's kick it out of bounds, play some defense, make them burn clock.
And it looks like a timeout is going to be called by ECC. That's their second of the half.
And they were not properly set up on defense. They weren't lined up yet.
Well, Paul, talking to the coaching staff before the game, they said something that had to improve between the last meeting and this one was the special teams. And I would say that ECC has improved very much in that regard.
We talked about special teams being a factor. Yeah, big time.
Reginald Hoax now his second kickoff return touchdown in as many matchups this season between these two teams. They have a made field goal in this game courtesy of Gavin Carney. After coming into this game, he had missed his last 5 kick attempts. That's a big reason why ECC up in this game here. But now they need some help from their defense to get another stop here. Still, even being up...
Still, there's time.
Yeah, being up 14 points, still, we know how quickly this offense can strike. It can, take them 3 plays, and they're already, down inside the red zone there with this passing attack. So you can't write them off just yet.
No. But emotion's definitely going to be on the ECC side right now.
Here's Stone. He finds Santiago along the near sideline, and that looks like it's going to be good for a first.
It's a completion, but the clock is still moving. I was going to say, is there anything more exciting in football to bring up you really jack up yourselves as a club to see a play like that, a kickoff return at a most needed time? Right now, ECC will give up some land, just don't want them to score.
Here goes Stone, hanging in the pocket. Now he rips this one deep, looking for Santiago in between 2 defenders. It's incomplete.
Yeah, there was something a little off on that route because we see 2 of the Hudson Valley receivers in the same area, and then that brought 3 of the Cats in there. Almost a great catch, but you know what? It hit the hands of Santiago, and that ball was up in the air, and the trailer behind him was an ECC player. So something went wrong on that route. You want to get these guys one-on-one with the defensive back, not 3-on-2.
And there was a flag down in the offensive backfield.
And it was...
All right, so we had offsetting penalties there.
So that's, I think, the second time they've had offsetting penalties. Otherwise, oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I need a calculator to count how many hash marks I have on my paper here.
I'll be interested to check the box score after this game and see officially the number.
Get the official record, yes.
Here's Stone, play fake, now rolling to his right there, and he's got to fire this one at the sticks. It is incomplete.
Pass intended for number 88, DJ Small.
Great pass rush by number 51, Amar Williams. A freshman, probably fresh legs. He's excited. He's coming in, and Stone had to get it over him. So he basically kind of tried to go around his side, and the ball was a little low. So how do you beat great quarterbacking? Just keep the heat on him.
EJ Small's the intended target here. It's 2nd down and 10. Stone fires toward the far sideline. It is caught by Gates, but I don't believe he got the feet down. Oh, he did.
He did. Okay. I thought the same thing. But the clock in college ball continues to roll. I was watching a very interesting stunt. I haven't seen a lot of stunts by Erie. They had a very interesting one that almost broke through for more heat on Stone.
1st and 10, Stone forced to step up in the pocket. Now he's rolling left. He throws. It is caught. Rodney Bell along the near sideline. Boy, Stone, he doesn't rely on it often, but when he needs to, he can make a play with his legs.
Yes, he can. He's a warrior. Now, from the Erie side, they don't mind giving up a little territory, but these last few plays have given up a lot of territory. The clock's still running. It's inside 4 minutes now. But as we've stated, Hudson Valley has a wonderful offense. They had 14 points. They can still come back.
Here is Stone. Here comes pressure. He throws it deep. He's got Bell. He reels it in with one hand for the touchdown. Rodney Bell, 28-yard score, his 2nd of the day.
Big time.
And it's an 8-point game with under 4 minutes left in the 4th.
Big time. That's a big-time catch, isn't it?
Big time right there to keep them in it.
Yep, and as we were talking about, Stone is not flustered easily.
Here's Navidad on for the PAT, and it is good.
And both teams have one timeout left, so let's take a peek at the replay first. Oh.
One hands it.
3 seconds clear to get that ball out of there. Well constructed. They kept in as many people as they could. Give Stone the time, and he delivers. So basically, you know, if you're on the Cat side, well, first we're going to see if they're going to try an onside kick. Be prepared for that. If you get the ball back, it's going to be about time of possession.
Rodney Bell, that is his 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. He's got receiving touchdowns of 23 and 28, respectively. And Navidad set to boot it away.
So same kind of receiving front, I guess I'll say it, as before. All the Cats are up front. Last time the ball's booted, beautiful kick, bounces around the 1-yard line, comes back for 99. I'm interested to see how Hudson Valley's going to decide what to do here.
They are going to send it deep, and Hoax is going to let this one go. It'll be a touchback. Didn't have much of a chance there.
No, so really nice strategy. I'm sure the Hudson Valley coaches, or maybe they did call for that type of a kick the previous time, where they're going to just try to go low and wide, as it did. Then it bounces in, starts at the 20. For Erie, through first downs wins it.
Yep, 3:41 left, one timeout left for each team, and ECC trying to seal the victory here. This 38-point outing is the most points they've scored in a game this season, surpassing their previous high of 36, which came against Buffalo State JV on September 14th, won that game 36-7. First down and 10. Man in motion. Willoughby, the handoff goes to Darius Fleming, and very short gain there on first down. Shows the trust that they have in him. He had a fumble, a costly fumble at the end of the first half that potentially kept points off the board, but they go back to him here in a big situation, and it is second down. The clock continues to roll.
So a really nice stretch run play, picked up some positive yardage, 4 yards. If you have three plays that gave you 4 yards, you'll be all set, right? Well, we'll see what happens here with the Cats.
Second down, again, Byron Williams in motion. Willoughby, hand to Fleming, and he gets taken down. Dominic Jones.
Yeah, Dominic Jones we were talking about earlier. Just really great step. He guessed the count. He was willing to go offsides if had be. Nothing happened there. Just makes a wonderful, huge play. And the clock continues to roll here.
And it's going to be third down and long.
So anything in the air, obviously, needs to be caught, whether it's first down or not. If you're the Cats, you have a chance to win it with that first down. But you're playing against a team that's played in these pressure pack situations the past few weeks. So
4 wide trips to the far side, and it is going to be a handoff to Darius Fleming, and he won't get the first down. And now timeout is going to be called by the defense with 2 minutes left on the clock here. So they are going to get the ball back with a chance to tie this game.
So the defense for Hudson Valley did exactly what they needed to do. They got the stop.
And again, the inefficiency in the run game,
yep, it came
an
back.
Issue here for the Cats.
Yeah, when you needed it, when you needed to grind and ground and pound, they weren't able to be successful there. Okay, so the gambler in me goes, do you want to try something fancy, or you're just going to punt it and play D?
That's a risky.
It's always risky.
Quite the call here.
Yeah.
Harney gonna boot this one away, and good job getting it off there, and it's going to be a fair catch called for at about the 34-yard line. So they got about 66 yards of field here ahead of them.
Beautiful punt. Actually takes up 6 seconds of the time. I know it sounds like such a minuscule amount, but as the time is dwindling, and if you're down by a touchdown, every second's going to count. And Hudson Valley does have that one timeout still. At least that's what's up on the scoreboard. So for Erie, they're going to have to come up with some big defense.
Here is Stone dropping back on first down, firing near side. It's caught by Santiago, out of bounds at the 45.
And inside 2 minutes, so that clock's going to stop anytime the ball goes out of bounds now. So,
and they have to work the sidelines here because they don't have any timeouts.
So they don't have any timeouts. So, yeah, it's interesting, You want to protect the border, but you don't want to give up too much in the middle. We talk about quarterbacking being on a razor-thin edge. The same thing on defense.
Here's the snap. Stone fires quick. Pass is caught Santiago, and Santiago again is going to get out of bounds. Clock stops with a $1:43. Shamir Land makes the tackle over on the sideline there. And Paul, we talked about how this pass game can just pick up chunks in bunches. 2 plays, they're already in enemy territory.
Yep, and stepping out of bounds. So, that's going from these are the 2 premier players for their club, right? So quarterback and Santiago as the receivers had a wonderful game today.
Trips to the far side of the field here. Stone, short drop. hanging in the pocket. He's going for the long ball, and it is over the head of everyone, incomplete. Looking for Isaiah Allen, but the defensive back, Jamal Drummond, was closer to the ball than Allen.
So anybody who's thinking like, oh, that kid quarterback, what's he doing, blah, blah. I looked out there, every single receiver was on a go route. They were going, and they were going to say, we'll take it. If we get it, we're going ahead anyway. It's going to become an interesting – well, we'll see what happens before we get into game strategy, but it's only a 7-point lead. You can score 8. We'll see what happens.
Second down and 10. 2 backs in the backfield with Stone. He takes the snap. He is looking. He's got all day here to survey. Now he's rolling out to the left here and is just going to tuck it and gain whatever yards he can. And he hits the deck there over on the Cats' sideline, but no laundry coming out after that transgression.
Yeah, I think it's really I think it was really just the players on the sideline were kind of in the way, and I don't think anything purposeful happened there.
He was able to at least gain some positive yards there. It's going to be third down.
But they're in they're in two-play territory, right? They're going to go for it if they don't make the first down here.
Certainly. And now the chance of defense ring out and a
Yep, they did have that timeout, and the play clock had 2 seconds on when they took the timeout. So
we'll take a timeout here as well. Back after this on Western New York Athletics. Welcome back here to Williamsville South High School, the Region 3 championship here between Hudson Valley and ECC. Right now it's third down for the Vikings. Here's a snap. Stone firing near side. It is caught, and did he get it? Rodney Bell makes the catch for a big-time conversion.
Yep, you could see Bell once he got that ball. He made sure his left foot came down in bounds. Pass rushing is exhausting for defensive linemen on the ECC side. They just have to find it somewhere if they want to win this game. Make a stop, hit the quarterback, cause a fumble, do something, but you could tell they're a little tired.
Here is Stone. He is going to throw this one high and incomplete, looking underneath for Micah Gates. And for that ECC pass rush, they have all the stalwarts in there.
Yep.
Jalen Yearwood, Delshawn Taylor back in the game after being shaken up earlier. Sammy Ikegwanu and Jaden Ransom.
There it just looked like Green went one way and Stone thought he was going outside.
Second down and 10, minute 21 left here.
5 people going on the pass.
5 wide, Stone firing, caught, no drop, Santiago. He was thinking about his next move before he secured the catch there, and it's going to be third down. That's a big-time drop there from Santiago, otherwise sure-handed.
Otherwise very sure-handed, and the only thought he had was, I'm going to be stepping out of bounds. But he just took his eye off the ball.
That's why coaches always teach you got to look that ball in before anything else.
Before anything else, you got to secure the ball.
So third down and 10. They just converted a third down and long earlier. Now they're going to go 4 wide. And you don't need it all in one play. Here's a snap. Stone. Pressure coming. And he is sacked. And the ball is loose. They don't realize it yet and now falling on it. Looks like.
Super fortunate for Hudson Valley.
Looks like the Vikings recovered. So they'll have another crack at it here. It's going to be 4th down and long.
Have you ever seen a ball sit on the ground for so long before either team noticed it was on there?
Is it right at the feet of one of the Viking linemen, and they didn't even realize? And who else? Sammy Ikegwanu gets the strip sack, and then nobody realized it there, and then it looked like ultimately it was recovered by Jameer Wright.
Because he basically, he might have just taken it out of the hands of the Erie defender because he dropped also. But I was sitting there wondering, nobody notices it, but that happens.
How are you on battery power?
We got a timeout with, unfortunately, an injury to one of the Hudson Valley young men. They're going to come back, and it's going to be 4th and 15. Interesting dilemma.
Harrison Colazzo was the injured Viking, kind of got rolled up on there as the ball was on the ground. Good to see him back up on his feet here, and now he'll hobble over to the sideline. But again, we've mentioned his name all day. Sammy Ikegwanu was the one with the strip sack there.
Yep, big play there. Now, interesting dilemma in my mind. If I'm the defensive coordinator, do I have a Steve Spagnola, pressure side blitz that's gonna throw Stone into a little bit of a tizzy, or do you just sit back and try to get those? Got a nice pass rush. I talked about they were looking a little tired. They got a lot of energy, and they're gonna have a lot of energy on this play.
And now trying to get the crowd into it here. Down on the sideline are the Cats trying to pump up the crowd here. One more play in them. It is 4th down and 16. Here's the snap. Stone looking. He's got to roll to his right under pressure. Now doubles back to the left. Here goes Stone. Heaves this one up toward the goal line. It is caught! Damian Santiago made the catch, but they say out of bounds. Oh, about as close as he could get there. It looked like Santiago made a miracle catch, but he was out of bounds.
Everything about it looked like a miracle to me. Look at how Stone escaped, and then that ball's up.
Yep.
And he's way out of bounds, yeah.
Couldn't get either of the feet down.
No. But you know what? What an exciting play. You had mentioned it before, how Stone is just slippery. Now, though, you got one snap, right? One snap, you win the game. You got to make sure it's a clean snap.
Yes, we should say they're not totally out of the woods yet because we did see them fumble a kneel down last week that kept Nassau in the game. Granted, at least today they don't have to contend with the pouring rain, so that eliminates that. But still, not out of the woods yet.
But still, your mechanics always have to be sound. I was at the Bills game where Harrison, what's his face? Yeah, Harrison for the Vikings. Jumps the count just perfectly. The Bills were looking like they could put it away. He actually ends up interfering with the snap, and Josh fumbles it. Vikings get a touchdown. Game went to you know what, after that point, and the Bills lose after looking like it was an easy, not an easy victory, but a well-earned victory.
That was the Justin Jefferson 4th and 18 game.
Yes, and that's what led to that ball being so important. We just saw one more flag to go.
There we go. Yeah.
So I don't know what this is about. Probably something on the bench. Yeah, just
like
arguing with the referee.
Activity. Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike.
Well, assuming they're able to successfully kneel this ball out here, ECC will move to 6-2 on the season, and they will be the Region 3 champions here. Meanwhile, Hudson Valley will fall to 5-3, and ECC able to get some revenge for the 42-14 defeat earlier in the season on September the 27th.
And the losing streak now will end also, and a monster game. monster game by the Cats to step up. A great opponent today. They just had a little more in them than Hudson Valley.
There you go. There's a way to avoid fumbling the kneel down there. Do it out of shotgun. So that will do it. The Erie Community College Cats win an absolute thriller here, a shootout over the Hudson Valley Community College Vikings, 38-31 here on homecoming, and they are your Region 3 champions. It was the kick return 99 yards by Reginald Hoax that put them up 38-24, and it got a little dicey towards the end, but they're able to hold on, and they are your Region 3 champions. Paul, final thoughts here as the clock strikes 0.
Well, you know what? We talked about special teams, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm going to say, though? Defensive line. They made the plays at the very end to shut down Hudson Valley. Hats off to those 4 guys. I talked about maybe a exotic blitz. Nope. They just came with the big hammers, and they got the job done.
And here, as we sign off, this was probably your play of the game right here. Reginald Hoax, 99 yards, although he probably ran about 150, 160 in total with the amount of times he had to reverse field.
I'm going to call this the bye-bye birdie return because bye-bye, there he goes.
And that sank the Vikings right there. 38-31, your final score. Cats on top. What's next for both these teams? Hudson Valley will travel to Garden City to take on the Nassau Community College Lions next week, kickoff at 1 p.m., while ECC also hits the road next week as they're set to take on Alfred University JV next Sunday, kickoff at 1 p.m., before returning home the following week to take on Hocking. That's going to do it for us, for everybody in our broadcast crew, including our camera operators, Russ Battaglia and Mario Hall, our on-site technical producer, Tim Gardner, and my color man, Paul Catrona. This is Tanner Saunders saying thank you for listening to this presentation of JUCO football here on Western New York Athletics.